Put that cookie down! Now!
Sir, do we get the win this time?
What's up, grinders? Get ready, grinders. Mound up. Oh my God, hit those horns. Shout out to everybody coming on into the gaming grind house. Oh man, look at my thing. My thing's over there. Oh man, it's one of those nights. Get yourself a drink. Seriously, get yourself a drink. If you're of age, get yourself a drink. Because it is going to be one of those nights. One of those nights. I am off the chain. What a day. The internet, I hope it stays a mess. Talking about being on the phone with technical support grinds my friggin' gears.
You're my number one customer.
So I'm wound up. So I need to chill. Otherwise, I'll be ripping off the microphone. Oh. Enough that this Phil Ness grinds my gears, but my goodness, add some technical support. Now I'm really wildin'. What's up, everybody? But the grinders welcoming me with open arms. There they are. There they are. JK Gamer, what's up? J Gamers. Cheeks the Freak. What's up? All things gaming. Jason M, welcome. Just saw him get in. Amanda, how you doing? DeFloyd, get in here. Alex E. Ryan, Zero Steel. DeFloyd, what's up? Maniolis with the 5 starting off the Super Chat trade. 1 year grinder. Let's go, baby. That's right, 1 year. And we got a new VIP grinder. Let's see if I can get this whole name straight. God Lord, Hungry Diablo, Cannabis Guardians. Woo! That's a mouthful for gymnasts and going in there with Herman Holtz doing the quality splits. We'll add you to the VIP board. I was trying to copy your name and put it on the board. We'll see if it fits. But Herman Holtz didn't go stretching with that big ass name. But thank you for being a VIP grinder and flex those emojis. Flex them all. Shout out to the Game Night 123 coming on in. He goes, Burning Shores releases in less than 14 hours. Damn,
You're
man.
my number
I gotta
one
wait
customer.
a whole day, dude. Thank you. Time zones, he says. Oh, man. I know. I wish it was tomorrow. No, it is 2 days. And it's on the topics, as you just see, Dead Island with that one. But shout out to the new VIPs. Freddie, how you doing? Shout out to the VIPs coming on in. Here's Zero Steel, Maniolis. Who we got here? Game Night. Shout out to you. Ron M. Neil, how you doing? Craig Rhine. Kratos, what's up? Kratos99, how you doing? Brian East, Dad of War. Akeem. Ancient Runes Discovery, how you doing? The Claymores VIP, shout out. True Virgil. Oh, shit, True Virgil VIP, what's up? Don't start. He's not leaving. Don't start. True Virgil. True Virgil. What's up, man? He's a VIP, man. We respect True Virgil. He's the VIP there. He's in there with Herman Holtz. He may be in the. He's there. He's chilling. Herman Holtz lets him in. He lets him in. We didn't need Frank O'Connor. He says, "Oh yes, that was on the wall. Yes, but no excuse. No excuses here." What's up? And shout out, speaking about the VIPs, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We are now pushing just the 2,100 grinders. Just a couple more, like 40 more, 30 more grinders to get to 2,100. Holy crap, I can't believe it. You guys love the soundboard. You love the grinds. You love the rants. And the passion. And the Phil Ness. We're anti-Phil Ness on this one. No Olive Garden. Zero Steel. We do not talk about Olive Garden. I just made myself some amazing, my own sauce. I made my own, what is it? I did I made my own tomato sauce. I just had it with spaghetti and wine. That cooled me up, that chilled me, and I was working on the notes on the grinds topics as I was eating my spaghetti with the pasta. The sauce. I make some good sauce. All right, I just made some bolognese. All right, some bolognese. Maybe for the VIP grind, I'll share some recipes with the VIPs, and they come into the Herman Holtz kitchen. Oh damn. Froggy likes the breadsticks. Oh, goodness gracious. And the unlimited salad. There's a reason why it's breadsticks and unlimited salad. Jez sauce. That's my sauce. It's quality sauce, of course. It's the quality. You got to make sure you brown the meats. You got to make sure the oils go to the tomatoes. You got to do that. There's nobody yelling in my kitchen like this.
Where's the lamb sauce?
It's my marinade. That's right, Nick. It's Jez's marinade sauce. That's right. I make some kick-ass marinade sauce. There we go. I made the bolognese. But I made that, and I ate that, and with a glass of wine. Now I got a beer. So here we go. Keep stirring. That's right, Nick. You keep stirring. Oh, damn. Cheeks the Freak says he makes Chef Boyardee surprise. What's the surprise? Oh, damn. What's that? Your long-distance family there. Just wait. When you're at the Olive Garden, your long-distance family. That's what you're the family that nobody talks to, that nobody likes. Just wait. When you're at the Olive Garden, your family. No family you are. The family, you're your Uncle Jesse that nobody wants to talk to. That's who you are. Your Uncle Gabagool. That's the family you are when you go over to Olive Garden. The family that says, you know what? Give them the shit food because he's that family we don't like. That's the Olive Garden family for you right there. So anyway. We're gonna go to before we get into the topics, we gotta go to the club. Oh, you know what it is, and I don't know if I can add them just yet, but we are going to the VIP lounge. Here we go, Herman Holtz. It's quality splits only in here. Let's see if I can add them. The new VIP members to the list. DJ, I added you. Oh, man, what is on tap this evening? We're drinking some beers. It's great. Let's see if I can add our new member to the Gaming Grindhouse VIP. Holy crumb buns. There he goes off the screen. Good Lord. I'll fix it. Good Lord, I'll fix it. Herman Hope. Shout out to Ron M for the gifted memberships, VIPs, putting me to work. Putting me ass to work. I'm going to be putting the work on the Gaming Grindhouse. Herman, tell him about the splits. Oh! Thank you again, gifted by VIP special guest, Giovanni T. Herman Hoods. Splits quality. Horizon DLC qualities coming out. Get your glow sticks out. DJ JJZ. Woo! Man, it is a party. Oh, don't worry, Hungry. I'll fix you. But right now, we're going to get back to the show. Thank you again, VIPs. Flex those emojis. Use them. Do the Phil Spencer looks like the Phil Ness. The Halo Rat. We'll be talking Halo. Get ready. Oh, baby. Thank you. Thank you again. Get that at fist pump. Oh, oh, oh. Woo! Man, wildin'. Thank you again for the super chats and the VIP subs. All right, Herman Holtz. All right, take it down. All right, that party, man. The VIPs. Woo! Woo! Jesus, man. Luckily, we don't have any crazy neighbors here, man. Those VIPs, those guys, they're in there with Herman Hulse partying with quality drinks, quality splits. He's dancing like Jean-Claude Van Damme did in Double with the twins. He dancing like this. That's right. That's what they're doing, man. They're wilding. They're partying over there at Herman Hulse. Thank goodness we didn't wake the neighbors. My goodness. But speaking about the quality, the quality splits, we got, what's up, Febreze? How you doing? So, what's up, Frogs? How you doing, man? Now, Frog, I haven't seen Frogs in ages. Frogs, how you doing, man?
Hey, you can't spell quality without rooftop parties.
There, man. Frog, don't tell me you at the rooftop party. That's where you been. Frogs out at those rooftop parties. Yeah, we showed the rooftop parties. They were playing in patty cake at the rooftop parties. They were giving out the drinks, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. There are apparently some long NDAs that you got to sign at those rooftop parties. Make sure you don't say anything. It's like Phil Ness Mafia over there. It's like, you know what?
It's horrible. Rooftop parties and glory holes. That's what it's all about.
Dude, it was wild because I was making that shit up last week, and then after we heard about what people did at that show, I was like, that's exactly how it went down.
That's exactly what goes down, man. We already know what Phil Smith's doing in those bathrooms. We know what he's doing.
He's signing asses. He said,
"Hey, no, I've been around, man. I just, long story short, you kind of knew a little bit, and the chat didn't know. So I had a colonoscopy today.
Oh, damn.
Finally had my colonoscopy, and I got a great clean bill of health, cancer free.
Oh, good job.
As far as so far, so that's a great thing. Let me tell you something. I can tell any man out there, start at age 35, get your colonoscopy, get your clean bill of health, stop eating processed foods. Another thing I'll say is it's not as bad as people think it is. Because you're knocked out. You're knocked out. Yeah, man. I went to sleep and they were talking to me, and the nurse is like, "We're gonna give you this stuff in your IV," and I'm like, "Great." Next thing I know, I woke up and she's giving me freaking graham crackers.
Oh, damn! That's the way to go, man. You just wake up, it's like, "Yep, that's all I knew, man."
As long as I didn't wake up to the Phil Spencer, I'm happy.
Dude, that's what they gave you. They gave you the Phil Ness. Everything looked good there. They could have gave you some review copies while you were sleeping.
Hey, I could have woke up and Phil Spencer could be standing with Game Pass.
You didn't see Booty in that colonoscopy there, man, with all the scoping going on.
If I wake up and Phil Ness is standing there, he didn't give me a colonoscopy. He gave me something else. I don't want that.
Nick says, "Did you get a Brazilian beforehand?" Oh, damn. Make sure it goes in nice and smooth. But with all that scoping that Booty talks about, it makes you reminded everybody go get colonoscopies.
It was a good experience just to get it done and be over with. And now I got to get them every 5 years. Even though I got a clean bill of health. And they told my sons. They told my sons, hey, age 35, you got to start. So at my age, this is my first one. And I'm in, mid 40s and above, coming up pretty soon. I got a birthday, so get them done, get them knocked out. For the men out there, 35, start them at 35 if you can. Man, this is a silent killer, man. Colon cancer, prostate cancer is a silent killer.
Oh yeah.
So I got a clean bill of health for both of them. I'm happy. Let me tell you, I haven't eaten. Today was the first day I ate food, right? And I didn't eat it until probably 3 or 4. I hadn't eaten anything before that. I hadn't eaten anything since Friday.
Oh man!
So for 2.5 days, all I was doing was liquid diet: water, teas, soups. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man! Then they give you this big old jug of stuff you have to drink.
Yeah, drink
to clean yourself
that
up.
Magnesium. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It tastes like
magnesium
it's a mixture
sulfate.
Between.
I think it's magnesium something.
It tastes like salt waters, penny, and chicken fat.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what dehydrate you.
Man, that stuff was. Oh, and if you don't drink water, you're going to get dehydrated.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Everything's coming out of you. Yeah, whatever you have up in there, it's coming out of you.
Uh-oh.
Music.
Something.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what was going on. What the hell was that? Oh, something
I
from the
didn't hear
Discord.
anything.
Oh my God, something from the Discord was
Oh,
wilding over there.
oh.
Holy
But
crap.
I mean, that's what I've been going through, man. I had a big cancer scare, but
Nah, man, that's good. That's good news,
I'm
man.
good. I'm good and good, clean health, man. I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm back and I can
That's it.
resume
And you got
podcasting.
some
And
quality games too coming up, man.
let me tell you
It came back
something.
good week.
I haven't been able to focus on anything for like the last couple of
Consumes
weeks,
you, dude.
because it consumes
Yeah.
you. When somebody tells you you have colon cancer, and it was a mistake. It was in my records. It was a mistake. I knew it was a mistake, but now I got to get an attorney because you can't do something like that in somebody's medical records. Tell them they have colon cancer, and then say,
Magnesium
"Whoops."
citrate. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, they go, "Whoops."
I know that's
my bad.
messed up, dude. That's
Yeah.
messed up.
So now it's the process of me getting an attorney and seeing what I can do because man, that
dude,
stresses you out.
Yeah. Now somebody put that in my Discord and started making playing music.
No,
I don't know what the hell that was. I just saw music.
oh man, no.
I got so many things open.
But nonetheless, I've been keeping up with the news. There's some weird stuff going on in the game industry.
Yeah.
Especially on that Xbox side. There's some weird stuff going on.
Dude, yeah.
There's some weird stuff.
Before we get into that, dude, but you came back in a good week because we got the Horizon DLC coming out. Dude,
oh yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, that comes out on Wednesday. That what I
Yeah.
realized in that Horizon DLC, and I'll show some video of it. They did a trailer for. Did you get to see the trailer for it?
Yes, I did.
You know, what's interesting is that at the end, and I don't want to do spoilers for the first Horizon, but at the end, that machine was the thing that Silence stares at the end. And
yes.
I realized we never fought it in Horizon Forbidden West.
Nope.
You know, we never fought that thing. So when they show that at the end of where is it? At the end of Burning Shores? That's what like I was like, oh damn, yeah, we never fought that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the here it is. Is this here's the launch trailer of it.
Rated T for teen.
Hold on. There we go. And also I watched the did you get to see the video that they have on the dashboard with the new character that they had?
Yes, I watched the whole video. Yeah. She's
like an Aloy type person on the West Coast, dude. She's like West Coast, dude. It's like,
and let me tell you something. I think my honest opinion, I think they're introducing this like this is because I think they want to do something multiplayer with this game. I think they do. I think so.
I really think I'm like, it would be very interesting, you know, the fact that she has an accomplice here, like she's working.
Yeah,
look, and when they were both, like that scene when they both jumped off and did the hook shot. I'm like, hey, whoa, this is not co-op. You sure? You know, like when they both jumped off and she had the same kind of move as her. I'm like, because she really never had a sidekick, like a person to go with, like so definitely.
No, she never did. She's kind of lone, out there, lone dominant, and I can say this is kind of different for for the game. I will say the Burning Shores, just from what I've seen, it looks incredible. I'm really interested. I haven't beat West.
Oh yeah, you can't play it until you beat it. Yeah,
you can't play it until you beat it, so I have to beat it.
Yeah.
Which I'm not too worried about, because it is a pretty lengthy game. But there's some other stuff coming out that I'm interested in too. And I really, like I said, my interest of gaming has just been like Destiny 2. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the only game I can kind of focus on because I've been staying up late, worrying about this colonoscopy. Now that that's done, I'm just like, okay, I'm doing good with my eating and how my health is, and I just want to kind of like, I saw Dead Islands. I know we're going to talk about some
I want that, dude. That comes out, so I'm getting that.
I saw the Diablo trailer. I'm seeing all these games coming out, the Zelda. I'm like, wow, where have I been?
Zelda looks wild,
and then lo and behold, I see Redfall's freaking gameplay, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I heard the frames for a second. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
That's exactly what that was.
Man, clown crap, man.
It's all been clowns. So yeah, I'm pausing on this thing. Like, so this thing was like the end of Horizon 1. You see this thing dormant. I forget what the name is. Somebody in the chat probably knows. But like, yeah, this thing. And so what I did is prepping for. I already beat the game. Incredible.
You beat the first and the second, right?
Both of them, yeah. I did. I don't think I ever finished the Frozen Wilds. I never beat the Frozen Wilds.
I got halfway through it. And I think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that the reason I stopped playing it, and this is, and we're gonna get into it, but there's a big problem I think that the industry has with these bigger games. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of think it's I like the fact that DLC is coming out, but some of this DLC is so massive and it's so far apart from when the game released that I'm kind of done with the game. You know, I think I heard somebody say it.
That's
I kind of heard. I want to say it was BG that said it. BG. I want to say BG from Weaponwood said it. He said, and I agree with him. This some of this DLC is so massive and so it's good, but by the time it comes out, I'm so done with that game. Like,
yeah, but I'm not.
like,
I think this is a good one. I think it's a good timing for this. Like, it's a year later. They already did the DLC. They already did the campaign with the VR, and now doing this. I think this is a good time. Like a year later, I think.
Do you
that's
think?
Good.
So you don't see. I guess maybe we're.
I'm all about this, man. I wanted more Horizon.
I want more Horizon, but I think, in my opinion, like when you have DLC come out a year later, I think that's kind of far when you have so many other big games coming out.
But they did put it in the service, so like everybody has the game to beat it, so they can buy the DLC.
True. That is true. You know? Never thought about that.
Yeah, they put it in the service.
Like for some of these games that are bigger, like if God of War came out with DLC right now, I wouldn't be interested in playing it.
Well, yeah.
I'd be like, it's like Burning Shore looks good, and I'm like, the only reason I want to play it is just off of like it looks alone. It looks,
and this is only PS5 only too. So like,
yeah. And I guess my thing is like I would have preferred them to say, hey, you know, and we knew there was going to be DLC coming. No, but I kind of with this type of game, I kind of think sooner than later. You know,
yeah. I think it's definitely interesting to you have to beat the game in order to play it, because I think that may hold off people from buying it. And maybe they do like a Game of the Year edition, maybe a re-release or something like that with it included. But the fact that you have to beat the game in order to play it, people may not be just jumping on it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I think it's a great price, like $20, not bad.
Ghost of Tsushima, was that the same way?
Ghost of Tsushima, you could jump off.
Iki by itself?
You could play Iki you had to get a certain place, and then you could do it. That's usually how they do DLCs. You get to a certain part of the game. Very rarely do you have to finish the game in order to do it.
Maybe it's because I had platinum Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, no. See, I didn't beat Ghost of Tsushima, and I was able to play Iki Island, and I went back and I did the missions.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't think you had to. I thought you had to beat Ghost of Tsushima to actually.
No, you had to get to a certain part of Ghost of Tsushima and then go to Iki Island. You had to get to a certain part of the map.
Okay, yeah, because I beat the crap out of Ghost of Tsushima, and when the DLC came out, I was like, wow. I was looking for more of this game. Yeah. Some of these games are big though with the DLC coming out. That's why I guess in my head I'm like, did I really want more of this? Like the fact that I didn't beat Horizon Forbidden West, more of the game is.
But
not
you're right
bad,
near the last third of the game when you're telling me. Like, you're near the last third.
Yeah. And the same with God of War. Like I still haven't beat God of War, and a lot of people are like, why haven't you beat it? There was so much going on in my life. I'm like 75% through the game. It's not that it's a bad game. I think for me, I was kind of like, oh man, like God of War is a good game, but I'm not really focused on it. There were so many other things in my life at the time. I wasn't really focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll get to it, man. And Dead Island 2, I played at PAX East, and dude, I really like. I can't wait for Dead Island 2. That is gonna be. I think I'm getting the Ultimate Edition because I want everything about it. Because that game, I'm telling you, that game is gonna be a surprise hit to a lot of people because nobody's really expecting it because of the delays and the development stuff. But Dead Island 2 is gonna be one of those fun ass games that people are just gonna jump in, 4-player co-op. Borderlands type loot weapons. Is it
4-player? I thought it was okay. So it is 4-player.
I believe it's 4-player, or maybe 2-player. Let me go check. I think it's 2. It's 4. It's definitely co-op. The first one I thought was 4-player. Let me see. Dead Island 2 multiplayer. What is it? It's let me see. Up to 3 players. 3 players. I'm sorry, not 4. 3 players.
Okay.
You and your potential that's 2 other teammates. Oh wow, there's 6 people. Dead Island. It's fun to play with friends. It has co-op. Supports up to 3 players. You and your potential other 2 teammates have 6 characters to choose from, as well as co-op. Your fellow co-op slayers won't. So it's always been 4. So it's 3 other people. So it is 4.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be dude, I love that first Dead Island. I'm so happy about this one. Well, let me get to chats. True Witty with the 5. He goes, bro, playing for Spoken, Frey becomes an ute, just me. I feel like she's pissed always. No spoilers, but damn, I love the game. Can't wait for Horizon Forbidden West DLC. You know what? Forspoken, I really enjoyed Forspoken. I liked it a lot. She was pissed off in the
liked it.
Yeah, she was pissed off in the beginning. Me and Frog did co-op in the game. We were doing what was the co-op? No, we weren't doing co-op. What were we doing?
We did and Forspoken we were playing at the same time.
Playing at the same time. That's what it. There was no co-op in it.
There's no co-op.
That's getting DLC too.
We were like, and we were talking about what we were experiencing and like how the biomes were really interesting.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I think that game, a lot of people crapped on that game just because. It wasn't as a bad game. The story was everybody, and I've heard a lot of people say the story was horrible. Most people who say the story is horrible didn't play the game.
Play it all through. I thought the story was pretty good. They didn't play it all. They just went with what reviews said, and they did not play it. And I've heard 3 people on different podcasts trash the game, and when they were asked if they played the game, they say, I didn't need to play it to know it was a bad game. No,
and I don't think that's true.
Yeah, because usually I'm going to tell you, Forspoken like 3 in. Yeah, like it turns its head. It turns its head on a dime.
I'll play a game and be like, oh, this is bad. Like I played Scorn and I was like, oh, this is not a good game. I played a lot of games and I'm like, this is not a good game. And I can play them and I can sit there and I'm like, damn, I've been in here 3 hours and this game is not good. Yeah. Whereas when I jumped into Forspoken, I don't think right off bat, knowing the reviews, I jumped into it and I was like, let me see what these. And then when I jumped into it, I was like, kind of the beginning was a little like, a little cringy.
It is a little slow because you only get one magic. You only get one magic.
Right, but once you pick up, once you start experiencing the world, you're like, yo, this is pretty cool.
Dude,
it was I'm not gonna say it's a game of the year, but it was a solid 7.
I don't think it was, the first thing when I beat the game, I was like, I don't think the people played it all through because around the third boss, the game takes a huge flip and it changes because you think oh, right, I'm going to go down and fight this one. I'm going to fight this one. Then I'm going to fight this one. Then I'm going to fight my mom. Or I'm going to fight the other thing. And then it's like at the end, and that's the game. But no, man, the third way through, it just flips and it's just like, whoa.
It flips the script on you. Yeah.
And then it really turns wild. And I thought it was good.
I would say there were some missions in there that were even cool when you're, no spoilers, but there's a part of the map where you have to find there's something on a tree, a plant. Yeah. And the map, like when you're walking up the cliff, everything is sideways. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yes,
here?
It's
interesting.
It is definitely. I thought it was a great game. I think it got some necessarily real hate. I think I think coming off Game Awards, coming off God Awards and stuff, I just feel that the game is like.
A lot of people who like, it looked horrible. They didn't play it. It performed bad. It didn't play because it never dropped.
That bad. I didn't have.
I don't understand what this. I think this community of gamers. They're fickle and they'll read somebody talking about it in a review and they'll go with that narrative and they've never touched it. Like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't interested in Redfall, and if I had an Xbox when I played Redfall, I'd play it. But I wasn't interested in it. But I don't mean. Because people are going to trash it, I'm not going to play it. Look, Tokyo Ghostwire. People trash that game, and I think Tokyo Ghostwire.
I stopped playing that, and I went back to playing it again because I had it. I bought it physically.
Yeah, it's not,
I traded it in.
It's an average game.
When I stopped,
it's an average game.
Yeah. I traded it in because I kind of was just like, and then I jumped back into it today. I was like, you know what? Let me finish it because I was right near the end. But I just stopped playing it.
Dude, I got it on sale for $19. Tokyo Ghostwire is an average game. It's not horrible. It's just very average. Yeah. But I think Tokyo Ghostwire is a better game than Deathloop. And Deathloop was getting 10s and 9s. I think Deathloop is not the best.
I think Deathloop had a better premise than Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo, I'd say with those adaptive triggers, man, and shooting all that magic, I tell you, the magic and what they do with the triggers and the controller is wild. And I think that's one of the things that keeps you immersed.
I agree.
But man, it hurts your finger when you're constantly clicking that thing and you're shooting that magic out, dude. It's wild. Let me get the game night. Let me get his super chat here because he said, I agree with you, Frog. I beat the game last year and just recently jumped back in to familiarize myself, and I'm trying to figure out who all these people are. So he must be referring to Horizon, that he beat the game. coming back
Yeah,
into it.
that's my thing, man. It's hard to go
I can
back.
get you. Yeah.
Because when I play a game, I'm like, damn, it's been a year and now they got DLC. I'm looking at DLC like this DLC looks cool, but I'm like, damn, I played this a year ago and I'm kind of moved on. I really don't want to spend more because that's my thing. It's not that it's a bad game. It's like, do I want to spend more time in this universe when there's so many other games coming out that I really want to play? I think that's a trend we've seen in the industry where games will come out, the DLC will come out a year later, and people have moved on past that.
I'd rather have quality DLC
people,
than DLC never shows up, or you pay for a season pass, or you pay for like DLCs and they come out all up front, or they never come out, or they come out and they're just nothing. I like these expansions.
But you know, Jez,
I
think what's starting to happen is we're starting to see a trend where we're getting great DLC, but it comes and goes, and people forget about. Think about how many games have come out with like really good DLC, and it's come and went, and we forgot about it.
Yeah,
like we were like, "Oh, this is good," and that's it.
No, I like these self-contained DLCs. This one is tied. Nuts on Chin. What a name. Hit that thing.
Oh, damn.
Pause that one. He goes, my nippies are not ready for burning shores, Jez. Oh, my goodness. His nipples are cutting glass right now. No. Nuts on Chin. Holy Jesus. He's cutting this glass with those nipples. They're really hard. They're ready to go for that pause. We got hit the honey horn on that one.
I honestly think if you got DLC coming with some of these developers, I think give it to me 3 months later. 3 months later is acceptable. A year later is kind of pushing it because I moved on. 3 months, I think is like, I still may go back and play that game. Like, Elden Ring. I'm not going back and playing Elden Ring's DLC.
That's another year out too. Yeah, that's a year out.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm done with that game.
But if it's something that adds more, like, customer. See, even with this thing, like, I think she looks like she has new weapons, new abilities, she has new characters. So, like, this definitely looks like it's not just doing more fetch quest missions on the side, dude. Like, it's and that's why even the other one with Forspoken, Forspoken now we know what she is now, and like the fact is that now she's gonna be. Now you're going to have next level combat. And remember, at the end of the game, you said you didn't get to use that power. Remember, at the end of the game, you didn't get to use the new power that much. Now, with the DLC, you're able to use more of the power. So, like, I'm excited for that one. True Witty with the 2, he goes, I got unwanted hate. It makes me excited for DLC 2. I get you. Like, you didn't finish the other one, and you're like...
Oh, somebody's knocking the door. Must be feeling that. So.
Oh, damn. There they are. Where the dogs? Get them. Where the grindhounds? No free passes. No game pass. That's right, God Lord. That's right. Good God Lord Hungry. Forspoken was fine. I liked it a lot, man. I liked it a lot. Frozen Wilds was a good DLC. I didn't finish it all, but it was massive. But the fact that they introduced like that whole area, like a different type of a biome there, more snow, and then what's crazy is that you think that the enemies there would be susceptible to fire, but they're not. So, which was pretty damn interesting there. But I you know what? I enjoyed DLC. I'm happy Horizon's getting it because it's one of the most graphical, incredible showpieces. And the biggest thing, too, this DLC is PS5 only, and they're already showing, the new, I forget all the names of the thing, but like that flow wing where the wing actually could fly and go underwater now, so you could traverse underwater. With that going right from the air to the water. She looks like she has new ability. She has a new sidekick there she's working with, which is totally different from the game. Dude, I got back into Horizon. Like, I went back into it, started playing and doing side missions, just getting some things up, like my mounts and things like that, just kind of getting ready for the DLC. So it did its work on me, and I'm ready for it, dude. And I think it's a good price. $20. I think one thing, I don't know if it's going to be super long. Like, I think it may be maybe 5-6 hours. I don't think it's going to be another 15 hours. Maybe if you do everything, maybe it is. But they really haven't explained how long it's going to be. But for $20, I would say, hey, I'm good like for a 6-hour, 7-hour DLC. And just to fight that thing, I think is going to be incredible because they said that fight is something that they probably couldn't do on the PS4.
Wait, Jess, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. I think one thing I can say good about this is the price of the DLC, I think, is priced right.
Yeah,
I think it's priced perfectly. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think the price is good. Nuts on Chin comes back and he goes, it's a great game. I always go back for DLC. That's right. If it's a great game, you go back for the DLC. I agree. Nuts on Chin, that's good. And you know what else, too? I like that they didn't do this DLC as part of like a season pass, because I think that's where the annualization that Frogs is talking about will come up. Like if they said
right,
Horizon,
that's what I was talking more about.
If you bought Horizon last year for the Ultimate Edition, and it's like includes expansion DLC, and that thing comes out next year, now you're like, yeah, that's a little long. You expect it to come within the next 6 months or something like that. I'll say give it a 6-month window. But the fact that they didn't bundle this in with some Ultimate Edition last year and it's an add-on, I think that now this is almost like, even though it's not standalone, but again, they kind of cover themselves by giving it in PlayStation Plus in the sense that they're not kind of getting everybody to buy the game to play the DLC. You know what I mean? So at least there's an option there. Options, something that Redfall don't have. Oops, pause.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm on my PlayStation. I'm through the Discord through the PlayStation while I'm playing a game because I've never done it. I just wanted to see how I sounded. I sound. I don't know how.
You sound better before.
Oh, I sound better before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's the quality of mic I'm using.
Seattle
Seattle
Chef says that Horizon DLC is about 6 to 9 hours, 13 to 16 to 100% it. So that's great. That's a good price, I think, for $20. That's great.
I'm gonna change mics and see if I sound different.
All right. And it's 60 frames per second. And incredible performance on this game. And look, dude, I went back to play it, dude. Incredible. I played it on OLED. I played it on my projector. It looks absolutely insane. So smooth. Incredible. The details. It's only 17 gigabytes. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Only PS5 only. Let's go. Let's do it. Next one's Dead Island 2. I'm hyped for that one. That I'm just going to get, because I really love some zombies and I played it at PAX. So I'll give my impressions on that. I'll probably stream them. I'll stream that too. Subtext with the 5. He goes, I bought Horizon.
Number one customer.
Oh, yeah, before Arnold. There we go. I bought Horizon Forbidden West at launch, but didn't play it until this year. 30 hours in. Shocked how wrong people were about it. It's much better than Horizon Zero Dawn in every way. Subtext, damn right. Damn right. Know that's going to get, you're right. This is what Horizon Forbidden West gets. Here it is. Turn up that sound, everybody. The quality flute. The quality flute. And again, just like what Subtext was saying, the hate, it's because Elden Ring came out and everybody wanted Elden Ring to overcome Horizon's hype. Like, I'm telling you, it was by a certain camp. Certain part of the 3 C's. You know the 3 C's over there?
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
Those guys, they try to jump on it because, again, the search for W's, all they get are L's. They're like, oh, Elden Ring's going to be... They just wanted to detract. No, everybody didn't want Horizon to do that. They wanted to detract it. But it is the most incredible looking game. It is light years better than the first one. And that's a point that I've always made on this channel was that...
Wait, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Oh. Now I hear echo, Frog.
All right, let me try a different.
Yeah, echo. But like the point is that they took the first game and they gave it some steroids for the second one. They made massive side missions, tons more mounts. You could fly. You have a whole arsenal of weapons that you have to do side quests for to do it. They don't just feed them to you. The environment was absolutely huge. There were tons of people in the environment, a whole bunch of factions and towns and tons of stuff. It wasn't as empty and desolate as the first one. And the animations, the variations, and every single enemy had a distance attack. Incredible. And the biomes, all the different places you went to. And when you finish the game, there's still a whole bunch of areas undiscovered. But everybody wanted to talk Elden Ring and try to detract from what Horizon was doing. And no, Horizon's an absolutely incredible game. And I'm glad now it gets its own time to shine, the DLC. We bring it back to everybody's attention because it's an incredible game. And they've done everything better. Just like with God of War. I think Horizon did more from the first game than God of War did from the first game. God of War did a lot with the character and stuff, but even with her, they did make Aloy much more of a badass in the second one. The first game, she was whiny. She was just like, huff and puff, because she didn't know who she was. Then she finds out who she is.
You're my number one customer.
So the second game, She knows who she is. She knows what she got to do. She knows what's going on. And she's ready to drop the heat. But she has a whole crew of different factions and stuff like that in town and this whole populated world. And God of War, they took him. They made him have a whole bunch of accomplices and colleagues and stuff. But I think Horizon blew it out of the park from the first game. Because God of War, the first game, I think it was better than Horizon first game. But Horizon took it to the next level. I think it was incredible. I think they did a great job with it. And I think the DLC being PS5 exclusive, it's going to be extra stuff in there.
You're my #1 customer.
Shout out to Geraldo Nunez. He goes, I stopped playing Elden Ring after 5 hours. Game is boring. Yep. You know what, Geraldo? I did the same thing. I did some co-op with Mooch, with frogs. I just did. It was all right. The co-op was interesting. But again, I'm just like, I looked at the Hillary Clinton meme in that game. I'm like, oh, like looking at the sky. I'm like, oh, it was all right. I don't like find your own adventure stuff. I want some narrative. I want some direction, and I want to go off and do the things. I don't want to just put me in the area and say, go have fun. Go figure out who you're supposed to fight and where you're supposed to go. And I got, you know what? I'm a grown-ass man, and I got something for you right now.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't have time for that. I don't have time for Minecraft gameplay. Make your own fun. Put some blocks over there. Set up your own game. No. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I want a good story. I want some kick-ass missions. I want some side quests. I want action. I want drama. I want gore, horror. I want all that stuff. Excite me. Pause. Don't put me in a world and tell me, go, you know what? See those trees over there? You walk over those trees. Have a good time. Have some fun as you walk over to those trees. No.
Ain't nobody got time for
So
that.
I can't. Maybe if I have some time, but I sit down, I got 3-4 hours a night and stuff like that. At the end of the night, I don't want to sit there and go, I got to find somebody got to help me to find the stone and this thing. And then I die 30 times and I wound up going nowhere. Dark Souls 3, I did like Dark Souls. Dark Souls was pretty good. I stayed more with Dark Souls than Elden Ring on that one. Not saying it's a bad game. It's just, I didn't have time for coming off of this, and especially how this looks. And then going to Elden Ring, I'm just like, no, I'm here already. I'm at level 11 right now. I'm not coming to 7 graphics. I'm at level 11 graphics and immersion and craziness going on. I'm not coming down to the 7s, the 6s. That was me at the time. Nuts on chin, delivering the nuts on the chin again. Imagine fighting the Dragon Sword in Horizon 3. Where is it? Quality. Herman Holtz, get those ass cheeks puckered up. He goes over to Guerrilla Studios. He goes, I want quality DLC.
Where's the lamb sauce?
That's what he goes over there, Herman Holtz. But anyway, hyped for the Horizon DLC. We're talking quality, and now we go down the tubes. Sorry, everybody. We're going. Let's see what's on the topics next. So quality. Listen, another favorite of mine is Dreams. I really like Dreams. Dreams has been a really awesome game. I'm so pissed off. Of all the games that Sony could have put on PC, Dreams was a perfect fit for PC. You hear me, Gymnast Ryan? I got a quote for you, Gymnast.
Where's the lamb sauce? Raw!
You want to put games on PC, Jim Ryan? Dreams was built for PC. It had VR in it. Where's my PSVR 2 update? And you could have put Dreams on PC and let them make anything they wanted to make. And I could have played it with the dexterity of a keyboard and mouse. The games that people could have made on PC so I could play it on console. You missed the boat. And that is a raw deal.
It's raw,
that is for you, Mr. Jim Ryan.
Come on.
That's for you, Jim Ryan. Dreams was incredible. And I still recommend, man, I would go into that game and just play some random ass games. The stuff that people made in Dreams was better. Actually, if you use this right here, here you go. If you VIPs flex this emoji right here, the Halo Rat and Craig, that Craig was built in Dreams. That was Dreams Craig. And I'm sure it comes with legal issues. Maybe. Yo, what's up, Supermod? There was Craig in Dreams. Yes. Craig was in Dreams. Where is he? I got Craig in Dreams. Where's Craig in Dreams? 3D model of Craig. He looks better in Dreams than he did in actually Halo Infinite. Here he is. Get him, Craig. You want to see Craig in Dreams? Here he comes. I'm going to show you Craig in Dreams. Tell me this game's not kick-ass. The hell? Bring it to front. Here he is. Craig in Dreams. Get in there, Craig. You want to see what Dreams can do? Power your dreams, they said. Power your dreams. There he is. Craig in Dreams, man. Incredible. Look at the detail of Craig. 343 could never. 343 could never. The detail of Craig in Dreams. I'll make it bigger for those in the back. Pause. This is what Dreams did. Power your dreams, Craig said. He said, I'm going to Dreams. There he is. Power your dreams, Craig. Craig in Dreams. Tell me. So the good news is that the game is still working. Like all the you could share, you could do all that stuff in Dreams. So at least we're not losing the servers of the creative stuff that people made.
How much Dreams did you play?
I played tons. I played a lot of Dreams.
Wait, I'm not echoing anymore, am I?
No, you're good now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I got Dreams day one. Like, I was there early, got it. This is sad, but what I will say is I agree with you. Dreams should have been on PC. And it just seemed like something that I think that crowd, that audience would have really gravitated to.
I think so.
I
man.
really do.
They added VR to it too, man. Think about it. They could have put it on. I was waiting for the PS5 update to it. They did add 60 frames per second. So it is faster. 60 frames now for all the games on PS5. But it was just one of those updates. It wasn't like an official. Because think about what people could have done with the adaptive controllers, with the 3D rumble and the controller in Dreams. Like, they could have done some crazy stuff in Dreams with it. But the fact that they never gave it official PS5 support, it sucks. And the fact that they never put it on PC and let those dudes make incredible games better than what they've been making on it. Man, the collaborations and stuff. I love Dreams. It is a great... You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Dreams is basically Game Pass. That's what Dreams is.
Oh.
Dreams is Game Pass. You open up Dreams, and there are tons
Never
of
thought about
passion
that.
projects. The games, little like fun games, fun with friends. They got some co-op games. They got all those little passion projects that you like. They're all in Dreams. You boot up Dreams. They got passion projects. They got 3D. They got 3D things with levels and all different characters. Tons of stuff in Dreams. Tons of stuff. They got animation stories. They got all this stuff. It's basically Game Pass. It's basically what ID at Xbox wish they could be. That's what it is. There's tons of games in there. Tons of games. You want 200 Game Pass games? Bullshit. Go play Dreams. There's tons of games in there. Power your dreams. It's all in Dreams. I might stream it again in honor of Dreams shutting down, but they're not shutting the server. They're just shutting down the updates. So you could still download games, share games. People still going to create. So it's going to live on. Thank God. Because if they were shutting down the Create engine and stuff, that would have been ticked. That would have ticked me off more. But dude, the 3D models, what was crazy about it, people made 3D models. So say somebody made a 3D model of Craig, right? This face. Then you could take the 3D model and put it on a character that somebody created, and you can make your own game. You could download assets from other people's stuff because they would build a game and then they would show you the assets that they use, and you could click on the assets. So if they use certain character models, certain things, you could just copy and paste and just then make your own world. So if somebody made like some Mickey Mouse or 3D Craig or dinosaur or something like that, you could basically copy that and put it into your own thing and just have a dinosaur running around in whatever world that you created. So it was all just sharing of assets and stuff. Like they basically broke down game development and made it a community. You would see tons of credits. People had studio names and stuff. Please, if you don't have Dreams, go try it and play it. You will be very surprised about what the quality of games that are in there. This is not no Project Spark. This is actually people legit made real games in there. Voiceovers, sound clips, sound music, tons. So if you don't have it, get it. I don't know, maybe you don't buy it because I don't know what the future is of it. But if you have it, go play it. Because it's better than Game Pass. All right? It's power your dreams. There you go. It's better than Game Pass. Because what people get from Game Pass, the indies, the passion projects, it's all there. It's in one game called Dreams. I may sound crazy, but yes, it's true. Check it out. Check it out. I might stream it, and we'll go play some random-ass games in there because it's great. And there's Craig, made in Dreams. There he is. Craig exists. But it's fun. There's some crazy-ass stuff in there, too. But you wouldn't believe the polish that's in there, what people have done. That's not Ron Perlman. That is Craig from Halo Infinite. You know, Microsoft's mascot. The other thing is that the founder, I think for 17 years, has left. So he's going on somewhere else. But also, Media Molecule did change their logo, saying that they're shutting down the Dreams updates. So they're not going to do like this, because they would do seasons. Like they'll have like a Halloween playlist, and then they would do like different seasons and stuff like that. Yeah, J-Tech does a lot of Dream stuff. He did tons of stuff. Because I know, like, I was following some of his stuff to watch. J-Tech has done those for some. He was all into Dreams. Well, I'm telling you, Dreams is great. So this guy's leaving Media Molecule for like 17 years or something like that. But they did say that they are making another game. That's pretty ambitious. That's why they're stopping support for Dreams. He's the co-founder. And they're stopping support for Dreams and moving on to their other project. So hopefully, you know, they do something. This is the Mark Healy. Yeah, so the Mark Healy announced that he left Media Molecule. He co-founded it. So he did like Sackboy Adventures, things like that. He looks like a country singer. He looks like a country singer. So what does it mean? So while the recent changing shape of the team is undeniably a monument, our team molecules are ready to take up the baton. In Dreams, we'll be releasing the server migration to the wonderful trend and will continue curation and community support. We have a new project in the works, which is exciting too, but too early for us to talk about. We look forward to updating in the future. So they're not shutting down. They're working on a new project. And I think Dreams was great. I think that I played it at PAX when they first launched it. Sony had a huge blowout for Dreams, like make your own game there and everything like that. But I don't know if they knew what to do with it. Like, because it wasn't really a game. They did make a campaign and stuff like that for it, which was pretty interesting. But really, I think they just kind of left it out there and just let people build. So, like, I hope they take the essence of that, what people did, because there was a lot of passion in that stuff, like what people did, and kind of like hone that into to something else. I don't know. But it basically was like a whole game, and I don't know if they're going to be doing Dreams too. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're going to do something totally different. But I think that Dreams was a natural progression off a Little Big Planet, where it was a game with editing capabilities that people made games out of, and Dreams was the evolution of Little Big Planet. Mod Nation Races was awesome too. I don't think Media Molecule made Mod Nation Races, but I thought that was an awesome, like, create your own kart game, you know, and that stuff. But Dreams was the evolution to that. So I don't know. We'll see what they got next, but they're not shutting it down. But the guy left and doing that. So now the next topic is the so the next thing moving on from there is the I knew it. I told you. You know, there was gameplay, and then what happens is that they go right back to the ABK deal. Right back to it. I knew it. It was a quiet week. It was nice not talking about Activision Blizzard and goddamn Microsoft buying games that you already have access to. But they went right back to it today because guess what? The great Call of Duty players in South Africa approved the ABK deal with no stipulations at all. And next week, I think, is the CMA. And then they believe the FTC. But this is the other thing to keep an eye on right here. According to this post, they are expecting the FTC decision early 2024. That's when they're expecting it. They're expecting this thing to make a decision because the FTC is holding up everybody.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
Because the FTC is taking them to trial. So apparently next week, the 26th, is the final report and remedies from the CMA extension. The decision from New Zealand is the 28th. China gets to decide in May. May 12th, the gamers' lawsuit is there. May 22nd, provisional deadline. July 18th is the deadline that if they don't, it falls out of it, they got to pay $3 million in July. August 2nd is the beginning of the FTC in-house trial, and then early 24 is apparently the FTC administrative law judge.
At this point, I don't even care anymore.
Dude, I
don't. I don't have the energy for it.
I'm saying, you know what's crazy is that it was everything about this deal, and then Microsoft starts showing games, and you see the problems that are going on, and you say that Sony's a distraction. This deal, I think, has been such a distraction for their upper management. They've been so consumed by these things that I feel like they've just dropped the ball on everything else. Like, they haven't really, like, since that ABK deal, they never released anything last year. It was all little passion project stuff, no big games. Delayed it all. Delayed it to what? To look like this with 60 frames, not at launch, not ready, which we're going to talk about, like, not ready. Like, that's the problem there. And it's like, who's the one that seems distracted? Who's the one that's losing stuff out of this stupid deal? All this, look, you want to see? All this. And this is just from March, the last 15 days. This has been going on since last year. All this just to get Call of Duty everywhere. Like, what is the benefit of this to an Xbox gamer? I still don't know. I think it's just more of like, hey, those people that said it's not going to go through versus the people that say it is going to go through. That's what it turned into. The outcome of what the games you're going to get, I don't even think that matters to these people anymore. I think it just matters that they got the deal and now they have, I guess, now they can see Call of Duty and MPDs. I think it's so stupid. But you want to know what? Everybody's getting Call of Duty. Nobody's losing Call of Duty. So you can't wait to talk to you in 10 years when this pulls out. Listen, Microsoft doesn't even know what the hell they want to do with this thing. They have such a management issue. Look at Bethesda. Look at what Bethesda has done. Look at what the other ones have done. Even Ninja Theory. We're going to get into it. But that's enough with the Bethesda thing. South Africa approved it. Listen, all these other countries just proving it without anything. That has nothing to do. The reason why they're proving it is because Call of Duty is not big in their countries. Where Call of Duty is big, those are the ones that have issues because that is their customers. Their players play that game. That's why Brazil approved it with no issues. They're like, yeah, Call of Duty is not even a game. We don't really, it's not a big deal here. FIFA is, but not Call of Duty. So they don't really have that kind of like, oh man, this decision is going to affect everybody. It's not. So these other countries are proving, like New Zealand and New Zealand, yeah, sure, whatever. Call of Duty is not like that here. So, but I'm done with this thing. But they went right back to it. And this was another thing. The Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft Plus, dude. After another thing that they started talking about last year. Xbox guys were talking about it since last year. Ubisoft is coming to Game Pass. Never go full Ubisoft. Look, here you go. Now it finally comes. Ubisoft Plus Classics went to PlayStation in the summertime. You get all the old Ubisoft games. Now, Ubisoft released their Ubisoft Plus, which is their day and date games, which they had the balls to put Skull and Ass on there. Skull and Balls.
No.
Yes, they're like, you'll get Skull and Ass, Skull and Bones, Balls and Dick, whatever, on day one. It's like, dude, you don't even know when day one is. I'm going to be paying for your service?
Balls and Dick. Oh,
whatever
man.
the hell that is. That game is going to
That
get
sounds
canceled.
like some Xbox stuff.
Dude, that game's going to get canceled. I'm not paying for that day one. Day one, my ass. When's that coming out? $18. It's even more expensive than Game Pass. It's crazy. And 90% of the people don't even want it because guess what? It costs more money. And you know what Xbox fans do when they say money. Unless it's for Phil Ness autographed underwears, they're not paying for it. So,
or $1.
Oh, for $1, yeah, because they're cheap bastards. That's all that's left over there. They're cheap bastards. So, like, yep, they want more money, but I'm not paying no $18 for Ubisoft games. Never go full Ubisoft. Never. Those games go on sale a month later for $10. The gold edition. $50 for the gold edition. Don't go full Ubisoft. Never go full Ubisoft. And 90% of people don't want Ubisoft games because they're not paying another subscription. But you know what? I recall they're like, but subscription gaming is the future. Yeah. Where 90% of people don't want to pay more money for Ubisoft games. What happened to the future? What happened? But Sony got to get on board. Subscription gaming is the future. Day one games is the future. There it is. 90% of you don't agree with that future. What happened? What happened, clowns? What happened? What happened? The future of subscription gaming and everybody needs to do day one games. Yeah, Ubisoft doing day one. $17. What happened? What happened to subscription gaming? Oh, it has to be all part of Game Pass for no extra money? Really? Uh-huh. Oh, man, all of it. All of it is, I do like it. Listen, I like it all crashing down on them because we said it here. We said it here. Everything. That's what's so crazy. That's why the Grindhouse doors never close. And that's why everybody keeps coming back and growing and more people coming on. You want to know why? Because everything is coming true. Subscriptions are having the bubble. Frog said it. Everybody said the bubble of subscription gaming. Subscriptions. People are done because there's too many. Too many subscriptions. People don't want to pay 6 and 7 subscriptions. There's too much. So, what happens to subscription gaming? Day and date, everybody. There you go. Assassin's Creed Day and Date for just $18 a month. Mm-hmm. And Ubisoft Plus Classics, the old games, are all on PlayStation Plus already. But then they get the EA Trials and old EA games. Ubisoft, less games. And the PC version gets hundreds of games. The console only gets 60 games. So you're paying more money for less. Oh, joy, oh, joy. Hyping up Ubisoft games. Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox game. Yeah. There you go. Phil got you suckers, man. You got you suckers. 90% of you said they won't be subscribing. Yeah, it costs double the price of Game Pass. Well, there go Ubisoft games on Xbox. No, what's interesting, Frog, is why isn't that service on PlayStation?
Oh, we already know why.
Why is that?
The main reason is because people who are on PlayStation mostly buy and play their stuff in a different way, and then Xbox players do.
Ding, ding,
That's
ding.
basically it.
There you go. You noticed that.
We already know why. Yeah,
You
it's
noticed
sad.
that. It seems
We
like,
are
yeah.
we are in troubled times as a gaming community. This looking at certain things there's some trouble in this community that people just need to, in my opinion, just say, you know what, we're in trouble in certain areas instead of acting like they're not. I don't know why people are acting like there's not a problem with the things that are going on in gaming, and the people who aren't speaking up and they just acting like there's no problem, everything's okay. You will be the reason why your console of choice may die.
Yeah,
you are the reason.
I agree.
You're hurting yourself by not telling them what you really want and the truth, and keep championing and cheering on mediocrity. You can't do that. You know when PlayStation 3 came out and the community of people who played on PlayStation was pissed at the way they were treating them. Guess what? They retuned their PlayStation 3. They came out with a cheaper model. They started coming out with banger after banger after banger. They had to. They were like, either we do this or we die. You know, Xbox doesn't have to do this because they're behind $1 trillion company. You know, they don't have to do this. You know, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, it is. It is included in PlayStation Plus. In PlayStation Plus, I said the Ubisoft Plus Classics. So the Ubisoft Classics are in PlayStation included, but is the day and date games that this one. But the problem is that the Ubisoft Plus Classics are not on Game Pass. This subscription includes the Ubisoft Classics and new games day and date. That's what this one is. Sony has it already. Sony already has the Classics built into their service. They just don't have the day and date ones. And that's why I was saying, Frogs, why isn't that service on the day and date one, the $18.99? Because they cut a deal with Sony, I guess, and they want to charge people. They know that people on PlayStation probably buy their games, even though I don't recommend buying their games full. Don't go full Ubisoft because it goes on sale real quick. Fake Man Bad Pig with the 5. He goes, what up, guy Jez? I don't always catch it live, but never miss an episode. Thank you so much for the support, Fake Man Bad Pig. Thank you for the super chat.
You're my number one customer.
Glad you could catch this live because we're getting into the nitty gritty right now. We're getting into the nitty gritty. Here we go. But yes, thank you I was just clarifying that stuff. But they got humble real fast. I was like, yeah, right? So let's go to the next topic. Sega buys Rovio. Sega buys Angry Birds. The movie. The game. Sega getting into that mobile space for just about $1 billion. So just a little less than $1 billion. Yep, and we move on from there. So expect to see a Sega logo next Angry Birds 3 when the movie comes out. And that's about it. Sega buys this. People like, everybody gets into the mobile stuff. Dude, okay, that's good. Whatever. Sega buys Rovio. Good job. Angry Birds going to be clashing with Sonic. Good for them. And we're done. Anybody? It's good. The movies are fun. I like the movies. Angry Birds movies. I thought they were good. But I think the Angry Birds game, I think it kind of wore out.
I don't understand this purchase at all. I really don't.
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
They got the movies. They got the movies. They got the marketing. They bought a bunch of Angry Birds toys. It is what it is. I don't think. What's up, Link? How you doing, man? Link comes on for the good news. The good news. Let's see if there's anything else on here. Let me see if I had before I get into the next thing. Before we get into the main topic here, the grinders, hit that like button over 300 in here. So apparently this is a real leaked snapshot of Forza Motorsport. Did you see this leaked screenshot?
Hold on.
Okay.
That I didn't.
Oh, it's on the screen right now.
Activate.
It looks like Daytona.
Activate.
Speaking about Sega.
Activate.
Daytona, it's all the way. Daytona, it's all the way. It's like Daytona. I gotta say, where's the ray tracing? I gotta ask.
Where's the lamb sauce? It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
Yes, chef.
Raw. So we have got rats here.
That is all over this place.
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
The three of you are pathetic. You don't care.
I care,
You're
Chef.
way behind and you haven't got a fucking clue. Can we work together as a team? Where's the lamb sauce?
So, this thing showed up on Reddit. So Mr. Henderson comes in here and goes, he confirmed with the watermark was Triton, whatever the Twitch streamer. And despite the screenshot shows it came from him, but he said that this was from an inside, will not disclose where he was playtesting it. And he said this never happened. Somebody leaked my my image. So update, Insider has been able to verify the two sources that have been provided photo evidence that this is a screenshot that originated from a multiplayer stress test for the game on February 9th. This is a February 9th image of Forza Motorsport.
Raw.
Hey, I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that why, when it comes to, remember the Redfall leaked images from last year? That didn't change much from what we saw. Why? Why was it? See, we talk about ABK, talk about Phil Ness, Kumbaya, kissing grandmas, hugging babies. Talking about gamers everywhere. Talking about playing on your phones, on your Samsung TVs. Give me the marshmallows, rub the balls. All this stuff that Phil talks about. But when it comes to showing games, they suck. They suck.
I waited for Halo, and all you gave me was bootleg Joe. Well, now we sit and wait for content. Hands up. I am still trying. Fuck you, please let us compete. We are like Forza. Let us compete. Let us compete. Please, we are horrible. Microsoft, let us compete.
Why? Why? Like, I'm telling you, the game's not going to look like this. But it just shows, like, they showed the game running on PC, using assets. They never showed it running on an Xbox. They never showed just straight-up gameplay. Like, that, and this is the problem that they have. They hide the game's gameplay behind closed doors. They hide it, just like Starfield. It's hide. They show little pieces here and there. They hide it. They do renders, PC renders, Hellblade again. They just hide it, and then you get leaks of this. Redfall leaked last year. Now this leaked. It's not good PR. It is not good messaging. The people are so desperate for news from gameplay. They got a $500 machine sitting under their TV that you said eats monsters for breakfast and bitches for brunch. And people want to see what it can do. Show them, you stupid dumbasses. But no, hide the gameplay. Show them just clips. Let IGN look like they're playing with two left thumbs. When it comes to showing games, you suck. Your marketing, your PR, you suck. You could go interview goddamn in iJustine's basement and talk about 2 billion people you want to touch. But when it comes to showing games as a gaming console, as a gaming quote-unquote company, you suck. So let me do it in Satya terms. You suck.
And so everything that we are doing with our content, with our our cloud and
Oh, and second on two.
Forza the service game.
Number one customer.
12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Star Ratchet 2, Ground Control.
Vega goes BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They want the floodgates open as CCP have brought up 20% of Tencent. I want GP leftist scream Maraca from the hilltops when CCP comes for U.S. gaming industry. Oh! Vengeance spitting out world news. They're all kissing that ass. They're buttering that ass. But listen, thank you, Vega. But the thing is that we know Forza not going to look like this, but it just is like, really, dude? Really? Just like the tweet about the 30 frames per second. You think that was a good idea? Really, dude? Kratos dancing with the wedding. There we go. Kratos dancing. That is his Game Pass song. It's coming. So I just don't get, when it comes to gameplay, they can't show a game for the life of them. They can't get you excited to play their stuff. They spend forever telling you about where you're going to play, who you're going to play, how you're going to play, strap on what you're going to play, TVs what you're going to play. I'll play on PC, I play on my phone, I play at McDonald's, I play at Starbucks. I'm going to play what? When it comes to, I ask Phil, what am I going to play? Phil's like, I got, did you see those blue and green controllers we just released last week? They can't show games. They can't get people excited with gameplay. It's a management issue. Hit that like button, damn it, because we're going into the main creme de la creme of topics. Management. Phil Ness, you're going to be on fire. You better get ready, Phil.
Sign me, please, I will bend over and touch.
Get ready.
My knees tell me it's better when we all play the make exclusive games and like. To my face, thank you, Phil.
Get ready. So, in our recent departures, Frank O'Connor left 343. And Joseph Staten left Microsoft, like we spoke about last week, and went to Netflix Gaming. Netflix Gaming. I didn't know Netflix made games. And Frank O'Connor's gone for 343. So that's all of them. The whole kit and caboodle is out of Microsoft 343. They're all gone. Where are they all? So what did you guys think about another person from 343 is gone? And Joseph Staten joined Netflix for a AAA game, he says. What do you guys think? Frogs, what do you think about this? The Frank O'Connor, the last one that we knew a name of.
It's one of those things you kind of got to look at and say, if you can't see all the signs are on the wall. They're pointing to what's coming for Xbox. They're pointing to it. There's no way, shape, or form people can say, "Oh, I didn't see the signs." You have to be able to see the signs. This is their signs of what's going on in the industry with this company, and I think that third parties coming sooner than later. Them becoming a third party developer. People may disagree, but it's just the signs are there.
Mm-hmm. Blink, what do you think? Link, you there? Oh, no. So apparently, just to say like what we've seen, right? Frank O'Connor, Kiki Wolfkill, Bonnie Ross, Joseph Staten, and Chris Pine. All the OG people from 343 and the Halo story are gone. And they didn't leave on like retirement notes or like Xbox party or like celebration as they left out the door. They all left by somebody finding them that their things changed on LinkedIn, and then Microsoft acknowledged it. Bonnie supposedly had family issues. We don't know if she's still with Microsoft anymore. Joseph Staten left entirely, off at 343 and left. Kiki Wolfkill just like disappeared. Like these people, you could say what they've done to Halo or whatever they did, but these were from the beginning of 343. They were former Bungie employees. They were the ones that stayed.
Nah, this is a big deal. Big deal.
It's not just one person like, oh yeah, that one was toxic and stuff like that. No, like these were the founders of 343 and stayed from Bungie to work on Halo. These people were there for decades. They were there for a long time, and their exit is like either forced or not acknowledged. Like it wasn't a celebratory, how Phil Spencer wins awards going like, well, 20 years of working here, let's have a goodbye party. It sounds like they kicked these people out the door or these people ran away. This is an issue. You don't lose that many top people at your primary studio because of just things, man. There's a essence. There's a cultural change. And it all fell apart with Halo Infinite. And that game and its troubled development caused all these people to leave. Rod Ferguson loved Gears. When you see him interview and talk about Gears, you wouldn't believe the dude would leave a month after he released the game. So this is going way back into when he left. Like the same guy with Hi-Fi Rush. What is that? Shinsuke Makami? I don't know these names. I'm sorry, but what is that guy? Shinsuke? That's Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm thinking that guy, the wrestler. But who's the guy that left? Shinsuke Makami, the guy who made Resident Evil and made the he left after Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
Like they're
same thing.
Yeah. Let me see. Gears 5, IGN. Is this it? Is this his interview? Because you got it. This thing really, yeah. Like this, like listen to this guy. This and tell me that there's not some sort of cultural thing going on. Now he's on Diablo 4 now, right? But listen to
Hyperwave T-shirt.
What is it?
The anime. That's my old show. I used to run an anime show. So
Okay,
people
good.
Listen to
Bam,
this.
Hyperwave, yeah.
Oh, yeah, here, let me show you.
Left out. Anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
This is right before
Now I
Gears
lost my
5
train of
launched.
thought.
Shinsuke Mikami. Thank you.
I'm
Making
Kids?
it bite-sized.
Taking a bite. So what's bite-sized horde? And so we were like, okay, one, let's make it fewer people, so you don't have to try. Hey, how do I find 4 friends online who want to play? Because generally, if you play with randos, you want to play for 50. They want to play for. Tile system is that we wanted to be able to make a lot of hives quickly.
Sure.
Because we want to create this sort of like on a regular basis, release new hives all the time.
Remember the hive mode?
And the difficulty levels are created by adding difficulty models.
I'd be better at this by like shifting.
Where's
around,
the
like,
talk right here?
Does a mode like a new cool mode like that come together real fast?
This is
and
a skate mode.
you
Remember
just know,
that?
Wow, we've got something here, or is the process more of just an iterative thing to get it from an idea to a really super fun thing?
I think you get both. I don't think. I'm hyper focused, and the team's hyper focused on this.
There it is.
And one S and one regular. The Xbox One family of devices. And so that's really what we're focused on right now. I think there's stuff as first party. You could probably make some suppositions about what we would not do, but I think it's too early to talk about that now. Because that's one of the things I really am focused on. Is like, okay, we're September 6th/10th is coming up super fast, and I want, I'm hyper focused, and the team's hyper focused on this right now, so it'd be too early to talk about it.
You were clearly trained on that one. Good job, PR team back there. Could there come a time, whether it's after this sort of natural arc of Gears wraps up, if that's after this game or the next game or the one after that,
right?
But would you guys be able to and be interested in doing a new IP, maybe in addition to Gears at some point? Is that something that could be in your studio's roadmap, or is it, hey, you're signed on to work at the Coalition, we're all Gears all the time?
I mean, it's a terrible answer, but it's just a never say never thing, right?
Yeah.
I think we're the Coalition, and we wanted to brand ourselves around the franchise because we were looking at like Turn 10, and we were looking at 343 and going, okay, these are dedicated studios to a dedicated franchise. And so we are very dedicated to the Gears of War franchise, but that's not to say we won't do other things. I think when I signed on in 2014, I had no idea we were going to do a pop-based mobile game, right? And so I think as you look beyond, one of the things about keeping key creative talent is you potentially want to go and do other things creatively. So, but right now it is all Gears all the time. And the fact that we're able to go to all the different places with comic books and novels and movies and 3 different games, like it's a lot. So I don't like the idea of like, hey, I laugh, and I mean I enjoy the passion, but I laugh when people go like, so you're gonna remaster Gears 2, and I'm like, really busy right now. Like I really appreciate your love for Gears 2, and I love Gears 2 as well, but I just don't have the time right now. So
well, I do like hearing that you're at least leaving the door open, and you could have sat here and said, oh yeah, no, we're the Gears studio, and that's all we're ever gonna do. So I think you hit on it as gamers, we sit here and go, I mean, we're not developers, but we go, man, it even if you sign on to it, it must be a little creatively stressful at times to just know you're only making the same franchise all the time. So just to even hear you say like, yeah, the door is open, never say never, that's nice to hear.
The door was open.
I think there's pros and cons. I think one of the things that if you find with designers is that constraints are helpful. And so I think if you hand somebody a blank page and say, what would you do? And you have no fandom, nobody knows about it, nobody cares about it, and you don't know what you're starting with, versus, hey, here's a franchise with millions of fans, and all that means is that here's some of the rules. Like that actually can help propel you to do even more interesting stuff. So to me, what I'd rather do than trying to pivot and do something different is to try to find a way to take all that creativity and put it into Gears and somehow stay true to it while finding things like Gears Pop and Gears Tactics, and even within the main game, what can we do that could still feel like part of the Gears franchise, but is
you're my number one customer.
Fair enough. Last question I have for you is, speaking of the new studios, all the new acquisitions from Microsoft, I know you've had studio head summits. There are pictures on social media from E3 of all of you at dinner.
Studio head summit.
So, pick who is the most fun new studio head to hang out with. Pick a favorite. You have to.
They're all
No,
fun.
you got to pick someone.
Well, I mean, the obvious one would be, say, Schaefer, right?
Well, that's where I thought you might say he's right down the street.
Right.
So, door's always open, he said, because he left. So after Gears 5, he left. So, like, what are these are the studio heads. They had a summit with all the heads there. They're leaving. And when you have 343, they're gutted. Dude, they're gutted. I don't even know what is Season 4. What is the future of Halo's story, dude? My favorite franchise. What is the story to Halo? They're gone. They're gone. Joseph Staten's narrative team, gone. Who's making this stuff? And then you see Shinge left. Right after Hi-Fi Rush, the guy who was like, oh, they got Tango Game. Dude, he's gone. 2 people left from Playground Games to make their own studios to be dynamic. Gone. 343. Gone. Subtext adds there with the $4.99. He goes, the reveal for Hi-Fi Rush is even funnier after Mikami left. The whole time we make horror games, didn't expect this. Huh? Crazy, right? Roasted it, then left. Yeah. The talent is leaving. 343, no. Let's look at the initiative. Talent leaves, right? This is not just a 343 problem. This is something going on. Drew Murray left after they announced Perfect Dark. Drew Murray leaves. Why it leaves? Newberger leaves. Crystal Dynamics helping. Inside is Describe, Fast and Furious exit from Xbox Perfect Dark Studio. As much as half of the core development team have quit in the past year. The initiative's management says it's confident in its team. Dude, they left. People leaving in droves. And this is before Microsoft went on their publisher acquisition. Rod Ferguson left before this. The initiative divulged before the Activision deal. They pivoted, dude. They realized that they can't retain talent, so they're just going to go buy IP. Josh Ayers says Xbox is losing money and costing them all this pain with ABK. How long till they fire Phil? Dude, that's the problem. It's Phil. It's Phil Booty. I don't know who it is. It's their management. Or it's Satya. It's the vision that they have that these developers don't. I think they like the cushion of Game Pass. They like the whole idea of a safe environment where they don't have to kind of work to make sure a game sells for them to keep a job. And I think what they do is they use the cushion of Xbox and Microsoft money to give them some stability while they go look for something they really want to do. That's what it seems like. No, they're there. Lincoln Frog, what do you got to say? Why are all these dudes leaving?
Piss poor management, and I also think that they don't want to make the products they're making anymore to put it in the service.
They don't want to. Yeah, I'm right. He's right. They don't want to make games for Game Pass. They see where the direction the company's going in. They don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's what I think. I really think that the pivot, like it's really and these people have been there for so long, like through Halo 4, through Halo Master Chief Collection. You think the way they messed up Master Chief Collection, they would have been out then, right? Master Chief Collection was broke for years. You couldn't play online. Subtext says they're leaving the publisher of the year. Seriously, like, you would think after the debacle of the Master Chief Collection, Kiki Wolf killed Bonnie Ross, they'll be out of there. But they stayed. Something happened after Infinite that made them leave. They didn't leave after Craig. Like, honestly, they didn't leave. Frank O'Connor, Kiki Wolf killed Bonnie Ross. When they showed Craig after that debacle, they didn't leave then. What happened after Halo launched? We know what the game looked like and what it was. Biggest played Halo game ever. You would think with the success story of Halo Infinite, 275,000 people playing. Would they messed up on the Battle Pass? Why would they leave now? Why would they leave in the last year? You would think you would leave after the game launched in December. Why would you stay a whole year and then leave now? After the APK deal, did Microsoft come in there and say, hey, yo, once we buy Activision, dude, like, that's where our money's going. Like, that they're going to be pushing out product for us. Bethesda's is pushing out product. And you guys are going to be consultants. Because remember, that's what they said what 343 is going to be. You're not making the games anymore. Chris Certain Affinity is making the game. You are a consultant. Remember the rumor of what was going on? Like what 343 was going to be? Like a consulting agency. Like what the initiative is. You're a consultant. Crystal Dynamics is doing all the work. You're partnering with them and guiding them with our IP. They said that they're going to be more of a consultant. And I think maybe that's what happened. They answered my own question. I don't know, but something has happened. Grinders, you know anything? You think what's going on? You think they went in there and they said, hey, we're buying these? I don't know. January of this year, 343 laid off their engine lead, their principal architect left in July. They were they were instrumental in the Shit Space engine.
Damn shit space engine.
Space engine.
You know what I also think it is? I think we're looking at things of times. Times are changing where you can no longer look at the norm and think it's the norm anymore. And what I mean by that is I think that you have to be able to look and say, okay, gaming is changing, and in certain ways it's changing for the better. And then, for instance, Xbox is not changing for the better. Game Pass is they're all invested and they're in the Game Pass, and I think there's a lot of players and that don't want to deal with that. They like the conventional way gaming is. They like to make their sales numbers and their dollars, and I think they just don't see it as a good deal. And I think that you're going to start seeing these veterans of the industry go create their own studios, and make their own games. And if they're great and they're profitable, and they may be small experiences, as they say, small experiences, but if they're good, they get a budget. I mean, Kojima went out, he did his thing, and Sony and him made whatever deal they have. I think you're going to see more studios kind of go. The bigger studios are going to go away of the dodo, and you're going to see more smaller veteran developers go out to make their own thing. I think they're tired of the standard, hey, I'm with EA or I'm with Activision. Let's just look, I'll sign a deal with Sony and we can go ahead, or PlayStation, we can go ahead and make a game for them. Or I may sign a deal with Nintendo, we go ahead and make a game for them. I think we've gotten past that point of, hey, this has to be a EA published game, Activision published game. I think we've really gotten past that point. And I think they don't like what they're seeing. A lot of developers don't like the way they see the industry moving, especially when you have Game Pass. And I specifically going to say Game Pass because you don't make the money like you would normally.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah. And also the cadence. Sorry, Link. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I know. Link, are you saying something?
Nah, man. Go ahead.
No, what I was saying is that the and also the cadence of which these games come out, they seem that they're not coming out at a fast enough rate for them.
They're not.
Look at Drew Murray. He left. He still would be sitting there right now, saying what's Perfect Dark and helping Crystal Dynamics. Meanwhile, the dude is working on Spider-Man 2 right now after releasing Miles Morales. Like, think about like a resume. If I'm Drew Murray and I get to put my CV together, I released Miles Morales. I work now on Spider-Man 2, one probably the biggest games ever for a superhero. And think about your CV, think about your career, think about your success stories. It's about what you output. You could sit behind the computer for years not outputting a game. The first thing you do when they say, "Hey, what did you do in your career?" Well, I worked on games that didn't get released. No, people don't want it. That's not a reflection of your success. But if you say, "Hey, look at Drew Murray's a perfect example." If he was still sitting at 343, he would have been there with a bunch of people that left, working with Crystal Dynamics, his old former Drew Gallagher, whatever, another company. I'm sure that relationship, like Booty said, it's very unique. It's not traditional that you have a first party working with a third party studio on your IP. And he'd be sitting there right now with Perfect Dark with no gameplay, no productivity at all to show what he's been working on. And that's if the game comes out. And then you look at the track record that Microsoft has. Who the hell knows what Perfect Dark is going to look like? Look what that other game. Look what Redfall looked like a year later after a year delay. Look what Halo looked like after a year delay. So the guy left, and now think Drew Murray, perfect example. He released Miles Morales. Oh, and Spider-Man 2. I'm on, dude. I will hire that guy. I will hire the Insomniac. The Insomniac. Not Insomniac. What the hell is it? It's Insomniac. I will hire the Insomniac Drew Murray over the Initiative Drew Murray.
You're my number one customer.
Nuts on chin with the 2. He goes, they should also let Sony handle the Halo narrative. Dude, they should. You want to see Halo? Dude, shoo-wee. This is not good, dude. Oh my God. Look at this. This is the Halo DB stuff. Look at this. Here's your season 3 right here. Look what they did. They went from 6,000 to 12 and then went right back down to 6,000, 5,000, and 4,000. They're at 4,000. Look at, they went right back down. That's your season 3, seasonality. You need to zoom in any further. Look at the plummet.
Jazz, I had said this a long time ago.
Season
There's an
3's right
easy
here.
way. There's an easy way to fix Halo. There's 3 ways you can go about it. And there's only 3 ways at this point you can go about it. Totally reboot the series. Totally reboot the series and start over. That's A, right? Yeah. B is Microsoft, since you got this Activision Blizzard deal going, go to Sony and say, look, you guys got Bungie now, and we want to cut a deal and just make Halo multiplat and let Bungie reboot the series from the ground up, reboot the series once again, multiplat wise. C, totally take a freaking take a big hiatus from the game and create something brand new. And just Halo's dead. That's the only way I can see you do it. Is it either reboot it with 343, go to Sony and cut a deal, which I don't think they want to do, but it would be smart. Say, look, you guys got Bungie. Let's cut a deal. Let's make this game multiplayer. Let's make this work. And everybody wins. This way you got a multiplayer Halo, a multiplayer COD. Since you want to go out there and buy these companies and make your money, Microsoft. Go make your money. If it's about everybody, go make your money. Get your damn money bag. Then, we can stop talking about, this Activision Blizzard deal, because at this point, we're not even talking about gaming mostly. In most gaming spaces, they're talking about politics. And I'm like, damn, like the politics is killing gaming. Like, there's never been a point I can think in history, more so in the last 3 years, that we're talking about more politics than gaming. And the only place we're really talking about gaming is on PlayStation and Nintendo. With Xbox, we're not talking about gaming. It's all politics. Yeah. So I think at some point, they have to change the narrative to have the politics stop being talked about and have gaming be talked about.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Like, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think there's a lot of politics going on in their company, in that they're pivoting. The fact that 343 had to do a tweet. When was this? This was in January, to say, guys, Halo and Master Chief are here to stay. 343 will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great again. You believe that Halo, the father of Xbox, the founder, the franchise, the premier franchise for the brand of Xbox, the most identifiable thing for Xbox, they need to politically put out a statement like this. And I think when this came out, imagine Nintendo coming out and saying, we will always make a Mario game. Like, you would be like, huh? Why? What's going on? Is there something wrong? Like, there would be questions. Gordon Ramsay come out and be like, yeah, we will always make the beef Wellington. Why? What's wrong with the beef Wellington? And look, ever since this January tweet, Bonnie was gone. Joseph Staten's gone. Kiki Wolf kill. They're gone. Out of it. Not consulting, out of it. They're gone. Completely gutted. You tell me where the future of Halo is. Rod Ferguson talking all about Gears in the future. Gears 6, and we're doing movies and comic books. And he left. Gone. Drew Murray sitting there with Phil Spencer playing my new game. Left. Gone. What is going on over there? That's what needs to be addressed. They're all gone. Who's left? They will meet with the studio heads. Gone. Tango Gameboy. Oh, yeah, he's gone. You think Todd Howard's going to leave, like retire after Starfield? That would be crazy. Starfield releases and Todd Howard leaves. Who knows? But there's a management issue here. There is something going on that these top people are leaving. And not just 343. That's why I pointed out the other studios, Rod leaving, the people from Playground Games saying they want to start something dynamic and not do the same thing from Playground. What happened to Fable development? They don't know what's going on. Everwild with Rare. What's going on over there? It's not like we're seeing incredible gameplay. Then when you see the gameplay, now you go, oh my God, now I see what's going on. It's always trouble development. There's always excuses. Stuff's not ready. That was the Halo excuse. Oh, give it. What did they say? I think I have it right here. What was that? Oh, excuse me. What was that? Halo Infinite was delayed a year for polish, not expansions. The developers delayed Halo Infinite an extra year to polish the game. Polish. Did that game come out polished to you? Polished.
I waited for Halo, and all you gave me was bootleg Joe. Well, now we sit and wait for content. Thumbs up.
What are we doing? What is going on over there?
You're my number one customer.
Halo wasn't polished. They announced before Halo released it was not going to have co-op at launch. Then over a year later, they put co-op in and canceled split-screen co-op. They didn't have replay missions. They cut 60 or 80% of the game, they said.
Have you noticed this has been? I was going to say, I don't mean to cut you off. Have you noticed it's been the ongoing? Have you noticed it's been again the ongoing trend with most of their games that come to their console? It's the ongoing trend. It's like they'll tell you what this is what we're getting. Oh, and this part will come later. So I don't know if it's, and I'm gonna be honest with you, is it a Game Pass fault thing? Is it because it's in Game Pass they can give you a game and say we can ship the rest later because they're like, hey, you're paying for a service game. So is that the reason why this is like it is? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wonder. I really wonder.
Dude, I don't know. Like that's a great point because like I was sitting here and we'll go into the last topic about the whole leading right into the quality stuff. But you're right. Like, does Game Pass give them an excuse for them to release a game, just get it out the door, and we'll fix it later? Because they're like, but if this was a $70 product on store shelves, you think that Halo would have came out as incomplete as it was? Do you think Redfall would have came out with all its modes if it was a $70 game coming out day one, Steelbook edition? Do you think that they would be at the liberty to release a game and say we're going to add performance mode later? I don't know. I think Game Pass gives them that security blanket. They could put it out there. The people got the stack. People going out there going, I used my rewards and got it stacked. I got the dollar bill for 3 years. Yeah. Well, good job, freeloader. Phil knows that, so he's going to give you half a game. You think Phil's going to give you a $100 product for the low price of $1? That's what you think? No, Goodwill Phil is not doing that. Microsoft is making money. They're a business, all right? They're not going to give you stuff, and they're going to make it look like it's free, but meanwhile, they know exactly what they're giving you. They're giving you some grade A bullshit because they got your money already. You can't vote with your wallet when you're already subscribing unless you cancel your subscription, and then you lose access to all your games. So tell me, how do you vote with your wallet and say, I don't like this? All you Game Pass subscribers out there, how do you vote with your wallet and go, I don't like this thing with Redfall? How do you vote with your wallet? You're already paying for the subscription. You're locked in for a year. How do you show you that this is not acceptable with Redfall? How? How do you vote with your wallet? They took away your consumerism. They took away your ability to vote with your wallet, to hit them hard on NPD, to hit them bad in sales. You can't do that because they already got your money. You could refuse to click on the game, but who cares? They already got your money. They got your $15. They got your 6 months. How do you vote? How do you say, I'm not going to stand for this, not having a performance mode? I'm not going to buy your game. Feels like, you already did, bitch. I'm winning awards. How? How do you vote with your wallet? How do you say this is unacceptable? You can't. Because you already paid Phil up front. You already paid him. Tramp stamp and all. You did it. How do you say I don't stand for this? Make a YouTube video, make a tweet. And then Phil, I hear you, I'm sorry. What do you do? Where's your consumerism there? Cancel your subscription? You can. That's if you're month to month. But what do? You wanted this future. You wanted this future. What do? They got your subscription already. Frogs, what do you think? How do you vote with your wallet, Frog, when they got your money?
Go play somewhere else, or
Oh, yeah,
and
you do that.
I'm being serious. Either go play where the games are actually going to give you the quality that you want, or and this is the other option, do what they want you to do, and no longer buy Xbox consoles, just buy a PC, and have the PC as your whatever, and then have your PlayStation, Nintendo as your either your secondary, because I think that's what they kind of want to push. They want to push the ecosystem. This is Game Pass to be your primary, and everything else to be secondary. That's why they're buying up all these publisher developers. When you think about it, they're like, oh, people in Game Pass be your primary, or let Game Pass be your secondary. Because right now, neither Xbox or Game Pass is anybody's true primary or true secondary. Neither way, most people you can look at are saying to themselves, well, I have a PlayStation and I have a Switch. Or, I have a Switch and I have a PlayStation. Some people, and a very small amount of them are like, here's my Switch and then here's my Xbox or Game Pass. Most people who own multiple systems, if you look at most of what's going on, it's a Switch and a PlayStation. It's not typically an Xbox. And if a person does have something, an Xbox or a PC, most PC players have a PlayStation. That's the other thing. Most people who are like, oh, I play on PC also, they also have a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a PlayStation because these games aren't coming there day one. Now, the day the PlayStation and Sony decide, hey, we're going to release our big first-party bangers here at day and date, maybe they can move away from that, but I think they create their own service. So as of right now, I think how you vote with your wallet is do like I did. I no longer invest in anything Xbox in their ecosystem because I don't believe what they've been feeding me for the last 5+ years.
Yeah.
I don't believe in I don't believe in Game Pass. I don't have anything against people who sign to it, but for me, Game Pass is just nothing in Game Pass. It's not good. Like, I know what games I want to buy, and I just don't want a service with a whole bunch of shovelware. Same with the PlayStation Essential service. Like, I'd be cool of just having regular PlayStation Plus because I don't feel they give me enough that I'm like, oh, I have to have this service for $100 a year. So I think that they have to do what they're doing now. They have to go out there and buy publishers and developers to control the market and the narrative that we own everything. That's the only way they can control anything.
You're right. That's the day.
I really think that's it.
Just grab up all that IP and just like, hey, that's on the one house right now. So you subscribe, and again, it makes a great list war, right? If you're not to say like if you're looking at productivity, you can scratch your head on that stuff, but like you see these lists of all these IP, Doom and Prey and this and Starfield and Elder Scrolls and Perfect Dark and this and Call of Duty and Crash and you look at the list wars, it's like wow, all that under one roof, that's incredible. Like the Disney Plus effect, Marvel and National Geographic and Disney and also and ESPN and they're trying to lure you in with the grandeur of like all this stuff. But when you go into the store, you go in, you see from the street, you see all these neon lights, like Phil Spencer, like Cheech and Chong. We got Call of Duty. We got smelly Call of Duty. We got Perfect Dark. We got Everwild. We got Ram. We got these. We got everything that you want. Come in here. And you got all these neon signs outside saying, look at all these IP that they got. And when you walk in the place, It's goddamn crickets. It's a ghost town. There's nothing in there because they haven't produced anything. They got it all. You look it in there, they're like, well, wait a second, you got all this IP, Doom, and where's the game?
It's like having a Dave and Buster's sign on a store on Dave and Buster's, and when you walk in there, it's actually Chuck E. Cheese's.
Exactly.
That's basically equivalent.
It's a dead Chuck E. Cheese. There's nothing in there.
Yeah,
like, it's like
there's nothing in
Five
there.
Nights at Freddy's. But like,
there you go.
You know, on the list, like up front, like subscribe to our service because we have all this IP under our umbrella. But when you go in there, where are the games? You look around, it's like Everwild. Where's that? Perfect Dark. Where's that game bit? Doom. And then when you see the games, they're like, oh, that's it. That's what you got. It's a bunch of bootleg DVDs. That's right. Like, yeah, the Subrex, it's a bunch of crap. Like, on paper, it looks great. You know, just think here. Ghostwire Tokyo, another IP from Xbox. You know, it sold last year on PlayStation, $70 game, physical release. Came out, Ghostwire Tokyo. Colt Eastwood's loving it. But he don't realize that it sucks and performs worse on an Xbox. He must have that long NDA that he's talking about. Lower quality ray tracing, more bugs, lower res. Performance is 10% lower than the PS5. Series S, they laughed. You know what? Let's not take my word for it. Let's hear what let's see what they had to say over at where is it? I'm gonna see. Let's see what Digital Foundry had to say about Ghostwire Tokyo running on this thing. What the hell? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this thing here. Let's see. Isn't that a problem? That's who's managing this? Who managed the port? You're a first party studio now. First party studio, everybody. You have a year to make this game run better on your platform. That's the monster that eats monsters for breakfast. And it runs worse a year later? What are we doing here? You should have it has less features too without the without the adaptive triggers and stuff like that.
Series X version is basically worse in most respects with respect to the headline figures. So the RT reflections are somewhat lower quality. There are shadow alignment bugs with the RT shadows. The resolutions are pretty similar for the most part, but the quality mode has a moderately lower resolution than PlayStation 5, it looks like. And performance is typically in the range of 5 to 10% lower than PlayStation 5 in the same scene.
Performance again! What are we doing here? 12 T-flops a year later port from a first-party studio. First-party studio a year later. They're under your umbrella. What?
And then on Series S, if you go over to Series S...
Series S, look at this guy. He looked like he just opened up a present for his birthday. Look at him. It's a joke. It's a booster. Nobody told. He's going to talk about booster right now.
The rumors are true. We have received a small quantity of the action figure known as Turbo Man. I am not going to ask you people to be quiet again. Do you hear me? If you're not one of the lucky few, we have plenty of Turbo Man's faithful pet tiger Booster in stock.
He's going to tell you about Booster right now. Here it comes.
It only has two modes, performance and quality. Neither have ray tracing, which is kind of the signature visual feature of that game. So you lose that entirely. And the performance mode runs sub 60. So in general, and relative to that, the Xbox...
Why? He says the performance mode runs sub 60. I would have called it performance mode if that was you.
Lower resolution. And then on Series S, if you have a visual feature of that game, if you go over to Series S, it only has two.
Wait, what was that?
Series S. Over to Series S. It'll go over to Series S. It'll.
That's what they think of you, Microsoft.
And then on S, if you go over to Series 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 S, it only has two modes.
Do we get the win this time?
Performance and quality. Neither have ray tracing, which is kind of the signature visual feature of that game, so you lose that
Performance
entirely.
mode sub 60.
And the performance mode runs sub 60.
Would you call that performance mode? Oh man. Yo, performance mode. It's like one of those freaking Viagra pills. It's like, you know what? Enhances. It's like a Major Nelson Midnight thing. Enhances your performance. Honey, instead of lasting 5 minutes, I lasted 30 seconds. A better performance. Performance. How is performance mode less than 60? What's the two modes? You got ass and shit. Pick a one. You got good performance. Performance mode.
So in general, it runs worse than PlayStation 5, and Series S is sort of a bit of a mess. So it's a really weird situation, and yeah, just not really what you would expect from what is now a Microsoft first-party development studio.
You would expect them to be held to a higher standard as a first-party studio, and you would expect the ports to be at least on par, if not better than the PlayStation versions, especially in this case where there's like a year between them.
Yeah.
You know, that should have been a year of time spent making the game better.
Dude, this guy is just like, this guy over here, he's just done. Dude, he is like just done. He is like,
where's the lamb sauce?
Look at him. Look at this guy. Look at Dash. Got this guy in the corner. Watch him.
Actually, in this case where there's like a year between them.
Yeah.
You know, that should have been a year.
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw.
It's
Come on.
raw.
Yes, chef.
Games, I don't know where they are, but I can sign your back right above your crack. Do you have a pen? It's filled inside. I'm waiting. Oh, it's bitch.
This guy's like, tell me this is not a problem. Tell me that Microsoft is running their studios. Keep buying more, Microsoft. Why not? Keep buying more. You are a joke. You are a clown. And you got clowns of the 3 C's out there as well. This is the Digital Foundry. You flew this dude up here playing with magnets, putting the X together, brushing those balls. Dude is calling you out as a circus. A circus. This guy is like, what is going on? This is a first-party studio that had a year to port this game over. What happened? Don't worry, Kratos, I got it. It's coming next. What happened? I'm the joke. Look at this. Look at this guy.
The same scene. Series S. It only has Series S. It only has two Series S. If you go
Who's
over to Series
laughing?
S,
Who's a joke?
Over to Series S. If you go over to Series S, scene.
More? Wait,
PlayStation 5
maybe we
in the
need.
same
I
scene.
think we need some music.
And then on Series S, if you go over to Series S, Series S, if you go over to Series S, it only has two modes.
So this is
performance and quality. Neither
acceptable.
have ray tracing, which is kind of the
You're
signature visual
accepting
feature
this.
of that game. So you lose that entirely. And
You're accepting this.
Standard as a first-party studio, and you would expect
What is
them
the
to be held
purpose
to
of a
a higher
first-party
standard
studio?
as a first-party studio, and you would expect the ports to be at least on par, if not better than the PlayStation versions, especially in this case where there's like a year between them.
yeah,
You know, that should have been a year of time spent making the game better.
Right? A year between them, a first-party studio. What are we doing? That's acceptable. And it's not just Booster. It's not just the S. It's the X, the most powerful machine. Doesn't have better ray tracing. Doesn't have this stuff. What? Look. It's blurry. This has more T-flops and more memory than this. This was eating monsters for breakfast and bitches for brunch. You forgot? And a year later, for polish, what did they do?
RT reflections are somewhat lower quality.
Look! Who's the joke? What's the joke? You spent $500 for this and $500 for that. Who's the joke on? Who's the joke on? And you got to play this day one and you waited a year for this. A year for this. Who's the joke on? And how do you vote with your wallet to be accepted? How?
There are Shadow Series S. If you go over to Series S,
Series S is a next-gen console. What do you say the first two things? Two modes, no ray tracing. It's a next-gen console,
lower
though.
than PlayStation 5 in the same scene.
Who's the joke on?
And then on Series S, if you go over to Series S, it only has two modes, performance and quality. Neither have ray tracing.
Quality mode doesn't have ray tracing in it.
Which is kind of the
and that performance mode runs sub 60.
signature visual feature of that game. So you lose that entirely. And the performance mode runs sub 60.
Who's the joke on? Who's laughing at who? Who's the fool for spending the money and getting manipulated like this? Who? Who was the company running around chewing on goddamn APU chips? Was it Sony? I need to know. Who's running around with monsters that eat monsters for breakfast? I need who? Who was telling you that the power, it's a monster? Who? Who's the joke on? Who's the joke on? Who? Is this Sony? Is this Sony? Is this Jim Ryan or Herman? Is this an executive at Sony? It's a monster. The shirt too, it's a monster. Boo. Boo, bitch, boo. It's a monster. Boo. Boo. Who the clowns? Who's chewing on chips? Selling shirts? Who? Who's the joke? Who's the fool? Three years in. This is not launch jitters. This is not pre-launch. Oh, this is just an early start to the generation. We're 3 years in. Excuses out the window. We're 3 years in. 1 year later for a port of a first-party owned company. And that's what you get. On the console, this dude's chewing the chip from.
Performance and quality of ray tracing. It's two modes. It'll go over to Series S. Over to Series S. It only if you go over to Series S, it only has two modes. It only has
Goddamn console gave this guy a jolly. He's laughing his ass off at that stupid
if you
thing.
go over to Series
Remix.
Series S, if you go over to Series S, it only has two modes.
Come on. The joke on. How's that acceptable?
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
And that leads us into the final joke. Redfall. Redfall. A game that was delayed. a game that was delayed for over a year. It was supposed to come out last summer. We talked about the management. This is management. This is oversight. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and Frogs, you can agree with me or not, I am not blaming the developers. I am not even,
You can't.
and I'm not blaming the hardware. I think the Series X is capable.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be.
Agree.
I think the Series X is capable. The S, that shit needed to stay last gen. The X is capable. The developers are capable. It's just that they're in a shit house. That's the problem. And they can't get out of it. They're in a shit maze. And they can't get out of it. And this maze keeps engulfing more and more victims. That's what you call these publishers now. You could tell me that they saved them. They saved them. Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory was riding high on Hellblade. Mocap, the awards, that girl, the Moonless, the actress winning awards, BAFTAs, all this stuff. Ninja Theory was riding a high. They get bought by Microsoft, and their next game is bleeding ass and gets cut in less than a year. It was a passion project. I don't care. If Ninja Theory was riding a high on their next level of quality games of Hellblade, and they broke out of their shell with Hellblade. The first game under Microsoft is bleeding ass. And they shut it down without even letting them support the thing. And in less than a year, they say, we're done. They released 2 characters and they shut it down. Nobody playing it. No more content. We're done. Less than a year, Bleeding Edge is done from Ninja Theory. And what does that do to a studio's morale? Then your next game, they take vacation photos. They haven't shown anything. What happened to Project Mara? You know, the virtual room when they were scanning sinks and microwaves. Where's that game? Where's that game? Ninja Theory was riding a high with Hellblade. And I love Hellblade. And I'm waiting for Hellblade 2. But, what did Bleeding Edge do to that studio? Why, Microsoft, would you put that tarnish on their name? They were doing well. So tell me what's going on over there. This maze of shit. It's not the developers. I think the developers are fine. It's the management. It's the oversight. It's the people who are making the decisions. Unfortunately, the publisher, the owner. And the thing is Microsoft buying publishers like Bethesda and Activision. They want to control those same people that are making stupid-ass decisions like launching a game without a performance mode on the most powerful console. Are the same people now that want to control every in and out aspect of Activision and Call of Duty. From soup to nuts. From cradle to grave. The same incompetent management is going to be controlling the entirety of the game. Not where the game is, but how it's built. What's prioritized. And that's the point that I wanted to make tonight. Is that it's not the 30 frames per second versus 60. Because I see a lot of the tweets out there going, we are 30 gamers. We are 60 gamers. It's not. And I'm telling you, everybody here, hit that goddamn like button. I'm telling you, you're not hearing this from anybody else except here at the Gaming Grindhouse. It's not about the frames. It's not about 60 and 30. It's not about, do you play in 30? You play in 60? Well, if you play in 30, this is not a big deal. No. And that's what they're trying to do. I've seen the fallout of this stuff. The 30 frames, that's not the issue. The issue is the prioritization of management on what belongs in a game at launch. It's prioritization, and prioritization is made by the higher ups. What do they prioritize? What do they optimize? Where's their time utilized? Time management, leadership management. It's not the frames. It was the decision to launch the game without the performance mode, at least on the X. I could see them launching performance mode on the X and not on the S, and the S comes later. We've seen developers do that. But the fact to launch it indefinitely, not knowing when that performance mode is, that's a management issue. That's a prioritization issue, and that's what it should be about. Because we spent over an hour talking about why the heads, the leadership is leaving. And it's the wrong people that are leaving. It's the talent. You could say that Bonnie
You're my
and
number one
all
customer.
those people didn't know what to do with Halo and all that other stuff. But you want to know what? They were the ones that actually worked on the game. Phil Spencer and dirty-ass coffee delivery Booty don't work on the game. You heard Booty. He just gets stuff out of your way. He's not touching the game. He's not playing the game. But the people who actually make the assets and make the game what it is, those are the people that are leaving. And the wrong people are leaving. That's the issue. The talent is leaving. And you could say, fire them all because they're the ones that made the problem. That's the whole Philness about it. They're making you think that those are the people. But it's Phil and Booty and the executive team and what they're telling the prioritization. You heard what Booty said. When Booty goes delivers those coffees, he's the voice back to Phil and the executive team. So he's like the little messenger boy. Phil tells the messenger boy, Booty, go tell them. Go tell them, Booty. And Booty goes there and goes, guys, you got next week. All right, 2 sugars, 1 cream. All right. Oh, anything in anybody's way? Booty, I told you I like extra foam. Okay. Phil, everything's fine. Everything's fine. They just want extra foam on their coffee. We're good. They said they'll make the timelines, no problem. No oversight. Hands off, ass first management. And the talents leaves. Why do they leave after they announce a game? Hi-Fi Rush hit. Dude left. Gears 5 left. The guy was making movies and comic books. Gears leaves after Gears 5. They're making Fable, a game that everybody loves, that wants to come back. Fable. We're out of here. See you, Playground. I'm starting up a new studio. I don't want to make Forza Horizon 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the same cars. I'm out of here. The initiative, the Avengers of game development. We're working on Perfect Dark. Said nobody. That was an executive decision because they didn't want to take a risk on a new IP. So they say, hey, you know what? Let's just do work on Joanna Dark. Everybody knows Perfect Dark. That'll get a good pop out of the crowd. You think that's what they all came together? Drew Gallagher and Drew Murray or Darryl Gallagher came back after working on Tomb Raider and said, you know what? I want to make a third-person Perfect Dark. Said nobody. Phil Spencer probably walked in and said, okay, guys, you're making Voodoo Vince or Joanna Dark. Who you want to work on? That's all I want to know. You'll work on Perfect Dark? I'm out of here. Okay, Booty, give him the sugars. But it's management's decision. That's the issue. Let me get these super chats. Sit on that point. 3 Mile Island goes, Xbox isn't a monster. It's a hype bubble. Lying executives have been inflating it since before the gen even started. Exactly, 3 Mile. And in 2023, it's about to burst. It's bursting. And remember, 3 Mile, that was a great, thank you so much for the super chat. You're right. Because in the beginning, it was like, oh, the tools are not ready. This is launch, cross-gen games, all this other stuff. Now we're seeing Redfall is a next-gen only game. And it's not delivering on next-gen expectations. So all this, and they were chewing on chips with Project Scarlet, they called it. They even had a project name before they even announced the name of the goddamn console. They have a project name for it. Hyping up power and all that other stuff. And still can't deliver now on next gen only. Next super chat. Oh, yeah, what are these other ones? Devs just want to get bought to do no work and do entitlement. Thank you, Josh Ayers, for that one. Subtext with the $1.99. He goes, it's Xbox quality. Phil likes Crackdown 3, remember? Yeah, you're right. Right. And Kratos, you're right. Redfall doesn't look next gen. But subtext, you're right. Phil said Crackdown 3 was going to be up there with Gears and Halo. Oh, excuse me, who? Yeah, no. It wasn't. But I think we're at fault to blame the development studios. And before I get into what they said about Redfall, I just wanted to go back a little bit to highlight the point here. Watch Arcane when they weren't under Microsoft. Watch
you live on during the game.
Straight up gameplay.
Yeah, let's
showing full no cuts.
The captain is Megan Foster. She's waiting out by the station.
No cuts
for the mission.
No devs walking slow motion down the hallway.
During the course of the game.
Like Dev Diaries, playing on computers, drawing up cars.
One way or another, with different decorative items. To Karnaka, the southernmost city years ago. Exploring a space, playing at your own pace.
Where's this straight up uncut gameplay
you can play slow
for Redfall?
Here, Dinka used Emily's far reach power, which has been upgraded for this playthrough, to yank that guard across the air and then choke him out.
Okay.
So almost everything you can do, you can also do the non-lethal version this time.
You're my #1 customer.
I won't hurt you.
Talking about why they made gameplay decisions, what they're doing, how they're doing it. If you like it, you like it. You don't like it, you like it. But notice the delivery. Notice, and we just talked about, and I talked about Final Fantasy 16.
Riddled with pathways.
How many layers they're showing of the game.
Swim through the aqueduct, or go overhead like this, or go through the main street.
Showing the decisions.
Before we were live, I was placing mines on rats.
Yeah.
Which got me
showing the combat.
A little horrified, a little excited. And then proceeded to
no cuts, no slow motion devs in the hallway, no smiles, no fake gameplay.
Yeah, you can put a
IGN first, the two thumbs gameplay
on a rat and then possess the rat.
Possess the rat. Straight up gameplay. Then you don't need to go too far back to go watch. Remember how many state of plays Sony had?
To know what the fuck is going on.
Hell yeah.
You're
with
looking for purpose.
I'm looking for the fastest way out of this place.
There are rules.
Deathloop.
And sometimes people bend the rules, and sometimes
this is a
they
Sony
break them.
marketed game.
Are you talking when I was talking?
Same studio before the acquisition of Microsoft.
It was top secret.
Let's show you a mission. Let's describe what's happening.
Jay, we all know. We all know a lot of the Bethesda games that were in development, like the Starfield and all these games, were in development also for PlayStation.
Yeah, they were. They
this studio required. They pulled them. We know this has happened. So people were acting like these games weren't going to be multi-platform games. They were. They were going to be multi-platform games. We know this. We know. There's no doubt in my mind that Starfield was coming to everything. It was coming to PlayStation. It was coming to everything. I think that Microsoft will, in a sense, concede to say, hey, we got to put these games on PlayStation because them just being on Game Pass is not moving the needle. Maybe it won't be their day. Maybe we get it a year from now. And at this point, I'm going to be honest with you, the best thing that Microsoft can do for Xbox is just to say, you know what? Our games have to be everywhere.
Yeah, your mic
Bottom
is
line, they have.
up. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, your mic. But I heard what you're saying.
Yeah, our games have to be everywhere. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's just the point.
Exactly. And I don't know if it's the Game Pass effect. I saw a lot of people talking about that and stuff like that. But like the presentation and delivery of what their game is, like how Arcane sold Deathloop versus what they're doing with Redfall. They showed IGN horrible game. First of all, look at the side-by-sides of these two games. You would never thought that Deathloop, it looks like a last-generation game, Redfall. Seriously, if you're looking at the two of them side by side, you know. And here he comes right here. Da-da-da-da. Like, you know, like, look at these side by side. Like, look at when Sony's mocking a game, and look when Microsoft's mocking a game.
And weapons express their personality.
Hear the guy
in the palm
talking
of your
about
hands.
the game as he's going through the gameplay, showing the things. If you don't like Deathloop, you don't like Deathloop.
Very impressive.
But it's
I'm
the
clapping
delivery,
with
the
one
presentation.
Don't stop there. Put them both together. The body count is gonna get high.
Atmosphere, character development,
Another way in. Through the window? No. On the cliff?
straight up gameplay. There was more gameplay in this state of play for 9 minutes than the 3 minutes of IGN first.
There's always multiple ways to approach.
Let me ask you a question,
I
Jez.
just learned of one.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Jez.
Conversations
Wait,
like
I'm
this
just listening
happen
to the
all
guy.
over Black Reef, and it often
Oh,
pays
okay.
to stop and listen.
He's explaining the decision making that you do in Deathloop. Look at the difference of how games are being shown. Yeah, Frog.
My question is, because I know a lot of people talk about the Metacritic effect and their projection of people just want to bash Xbox. I don't think people just want to bash Xbox. I think we're at a point in gaming history that Microsoft's Xbox is doing so bad with the way they give information and the way they don't market anything. The only thing they market is the service. They market Game Pass. They don't really market the games that are in there. And then when you get a game like Redfall that we're seeing, and you have the IGNs and the GameSpots and whoever just trying to show it, it's kind of hard to really get hyped about a game that you're like, well, I don't have to buy this game. It's in the service, so if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. I do think this game is gonna get reviewed pretty poorly. I do think it's gonna get below sevens, and on top of that, I think that people talking about, well, there's this patch coming later, 60 frames.
We don't know when.
Okay, we don't know when. I don't even care when. It's just the fact that you have your S that's running at a 30 frames, 1440p, and your X running at a 2160 at 30 frames. Why can't you have a 1440p 60 at day one? This sounds like a game that isn't finished. This sounds like a game that you're still working on.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you're the reason that you can do this is because it's in a service, and you can make that you can say those things like it's in a service, you're not paying for it anyway. Microsoft no longer cares about the sales of their games. They care about how many people can subscribe to that service. And that's more important to them, and that's why the quality of their games look the way they do. Now, with that said, I do think above and beyond all things that Starfield will be in the running for Game of the Year as long as it's not super buggy. I think it will be. I think we'll see it. I think we'll see that game.
Somebody said in the chat.
I think we'll see that game no matter what. We'll see that game in the running for Game of the Year because Starfield is their savior as far as Xbox is concerned right now. If that game comes out and it scores poorly, it's received poorly, I think that we're at a point in gaming history where people have to acknowledge that the Xbox may be done. Because that is the game right now. At this point, Starfield is the game. It has to come out and it cannot fail.
I'm going to tell you,
it has to be. It has to be critically acclaimed. It has to do. It has to do well. It has to do well.
I don't think Starfield is associated with Xbox. I think Starfield.
You think Starfield is more associated with Bethesda?
With Bethesda and PC gaming. PC.
Interesting.
I don't think Starfield, because Starfield, first of all, is a new IP. It's not
True.
Oblivion that has the legacy of launching on a 360. It's not Oblivion. It's not Fallout that was like really done well. It's Starfield. It's a brand new IP. I don't think that it's Xbox. I don't think so.
Do you think it moves? Do you think it moves console sales?
Unless
I don't think it.
I think if they bundle
unless they bundle it, I don't think it moves console sales. No. But what I will say is it's going to do. It's going to be a talking point because it's Bethesda, and it's going to be a talking point because it's their next big thing. Right, and that's why the talking point, I think, is going to be there. And that's why I think it will be in a Game of the Year running, along with Spider-Man and Zelda, just because
I think we need to see more.
It's the talking point. We definitely do.
Tons more of the game. But I think the problem is that, you launch that game like how Redfall is right here, where
oh my
30
god,
frames.
It's gonna be
but
it's
Frog,
done.
let me tell you this, right? And I said this.
Oh, okay. Well, the 30 frames.
But
I say if you launch the game and it's real buggy, I think it just this they got to hit on all cylinders with that game, man,
But
or they're
Frog,
gonna have a hard time convincing
Redfall
people
right
to say
now,
stay here.
where do you, if you really want to play this game, where are you buying it?
PC. If I'm having a capable PC, I'm
Because
buying it on
there's no
PC.
60
I'm not
frame-
buying it on the
and
console.
why?
Yeah, because it runs at 30 frames
Exactly.
on the console,
Redfall,
and we don't even know if that's and Jess, we don't even know if that's a locked 30 frames. All we know is 30 frames.
We don't even know if it's a stable 30 frames. No
There
ray
you go.
tracing. We don't even know what the performance is on this. But now, let me follow up the question. Is like, now does that game not having performance? Is that moving consoles? No, it's not.
No,
That
you're
is the
right.
question.
It's not.
It's not. You just
It's
told
not.
me right now. You want to play this game? Go to PC and play it.
Go to PC and play it.
Buy
Right.
Why are you going to buy a Series
Yep.
X, most powerful console in the world, to play the
Yep.
game at 30 frames?
Yep.
If you care
Yep,
about
yep,
that
yep.
stuff, what do you do? So basically, if Starfield launches the same way, they're telling you to go play on PC.
I saw somebody say something so stupid. They said,
And the mods. That's right. Francis
They said, "Oh, you see that it's coming on Series X at 1440p 30, so the Series X isn't holding the X backs." I was like, "What?" I was like, "It's coming on both consoles at 30 frames. One is going to be 1440, one is going to be 2160. What are you talking about? The Series S isn't holding the X back." Like, the reality is they should have a 1440-60 mode for that X, and then that Series S should be a 30 frames 1440p and a 1080p 60. That's what it should be. But we're getting neither. And I just think that game is going to have some problems with everything that game, the signs that point to that game is going to have problems because people are comparing it to a kind of Left 4 Dead kind of game, even though they say you shouldn't. People are going to compare it to that no matter what. People are going to compare it to that. It looks like a Left 4 Dead type of game with vampires.
You know, one of the things I'm just noticing here, I think for a looting game, I think this is pretty damn lame. I'm just noticing this here. Like, you basically walk up to a pile of ashes and have to click on it, and then it'll show you what the loot is in that ashes. Like, it's not after you kill the guy, you see, like, a gold gun come out, or a blue gun, or a blue item, or blue ashes come out, or something like that. Instead, he dies, and he just disintegrates, and it becomes like this pile of ashes that blends into the ground, and then you got to walk up to it, click on it, search the remains, and then it shows you what the remains are. Like, I don't think that that's very satisfying as a looting game, right? As a loot game, you want to see, like, the loot drop, you know?
No, it looks half-baked.
Instead, you got to walk up to the pile of ashes. You don't get a visual cue as to if it's worthwhile loot or not. You walk up to the pile of ashes and click on it, and then it tells you what the loot is. Kind of weird. I just think that that's like, you want to see, like, when you shoot the guy in Destiny, you see a purple artifact come out from him, or a blue drop, or a purple gun, or a gold gun, or a gold item, and you're like, oh, run up and grab the gold item. Instead, this guy dies. You run up to a pile of ashes, click on it, so PC like, click on it, and then there's a list of, like, oh, well, here's what's in the ashes. Kind of weird. It's just like Fallout, right? Yeah, I know, it does remind me like a Fallout type thing where you walk up and then you click on it, and then it gives you the list of what it is. But as a grinding looting game where you're getting, like, yeah, look at all the guns. Look at all these guns and stuff. It just seems very menu-centric where, you could just be picking up, like, look at all these drops, all these guns here. I don't know. Just weird. It looks ashy. True Virgil with the 199, he goes, every company has a bad run. Sony did with the PS3. Yeah, they did with the PS3, but the thing is that they made great games like Last of Us and God of War 3 that earned their spot back. And one of the biggest issues, True Virgil, and again, we don't want to turn this into a fight night, but one of the other biggest things, the biggest thing that PS3 did, the PS4 did, is that the PS4 listened and learned from the mistakes of the PS3 and righted the wrongs that they did. They listened to the game. They made it about games and not Blu-rays. They rode off the hype of their end of the generation with Last of Us, with God of War 3, and also embraced indie games, and then came out with games on top of it. And they fixed their online. That was a big problem with their PS3. They listened. You're talking here, Xbox has a bad run. Their bad run has been since the launch of the Xbox One because the messaging with the Xbox One sucked, and it sucked so bad. It's when they had the games, their marketing and the fact that they talked too much hurt. When they had Titanfall, when they had Rise, when they had Dead Rising, when they had Sunset Overdrive, that stuff was muddied because they couldn't shut up about their vision, about their Kinect, about their future of Snap, about their TV integration, their HDMI pass-through. They couldn't shut up about all the other stuff when they had the games. Then in 2016, they shut down all the studios that they had and basically went back to square one. And we've been down here since. And you think with the Xbox Series consoles, they would have learned their lesson and done right what done wrong? They launched with 0 games, True Virgil. They launched with 0 games.
Where's the lamb sauce?
How do you learn when you did the previous generation, which was a fail? When you had a launch lineup, you launched the next gen with nothing.
Okay, but and that's the other thing. And I'm sorry for whoever said that. Whoever said that, I don't really think he's thinking about it. He said Microsoft. This is like you went from a generation where you were losing to another generation where you still have that same narrative. Sony only had that. Sony had that with the PlayStation 3, right? Okay, great, get it, right? But that's the only system they really had it with. As far as a home console, Nintendo really had it with the Wii U, but that's the only generation they turned it around. Microsoft has had from the first inception of Xbox, where it was coming out, where we would get, it was like, okay, original Xbox, it was kind of struggling, to the Xbox 360, where you're like, you got it right. You would think, looking at the Xbox 360, going to the next system, they would have got it right. They stumbled at the gate because they did exactly what Sony did with the PS3 generation. They got really cocky and aggressive. And they stumbled on themselves, and they're still stumbling. Every time they walk, they're tripping and stumbling. They stumbled into the Xbox One generation, and they stumbled into
they're still
generation.
Stumbling, dude. No,
this is 2 generations. They're still stumbling, and I don't understand why we're saying everybody. No, they're stumbling into the next generation, having the same problems they had last generation.
Frog, we're 3 years into the generation. This is not the generation started last month.
And what I can't understand is, I'm gonna be honest with you. What I can't understand is how people can't look at certain things as far as the console generation goes and say, Microsoft's never been a dominant force. Xbox has never been a dominant force. OG Xbox wasn't dominant. It barely beat the GameCube. Obviously, it came in late to the PlayStation. The 360 had a 50% failure rate, so that 80-something million, that half those consoles are broken. So I don't get it. I don't get what we're talking about here. When you look at what we're comparing to the competition, 360 is their best generation, but it had a 50%, 40 to 50% failure rate. What are we really talking about here when we're saying they sold 80-something million consoles? Like a 50 to 40% failure rate is a big deal in the generation. If that's not an L, I don't know what is. I'm not saying the 360 wasn't great. I love the 360 generation, but that console itself had a 40 to 50% failure rate. They've been stumbling, and they can't get up. They can't get up.
And now when you have Bethesda, you have Redfall, the industry's laughing at you. You like the marketing has been atrocious. After that horrible IGN gameplay, you let IGN do your gameplay for you. You did a developer direct. You had the stage to yourself. Sony's not doing shit. They're not doing showcases. You decided to do a developer direct after a no-show at the Game Awards. Remember, everybody? A no-show at the Game Awards. After a year of 2022 of no games, you go to the Game Awards, the closest thing to E3 that's on the books, and not show anything except for a Game Pass commercial. You follow that up with a developer direct where you show, again, devs walking around hallways, grabbing ass, looking at computer screens, no straight up gameplay to the game of a mission structure, and it doesn't look that good. And you delay the game to May when everybody was assuming it was going to come in March. delay it because you promised a 12-month roadmap, which you lied again. Then delay it, not show any more gameplay ever again until IGN pops up and shows the dude with 2 left thumbs playing a stupid boss fight. Critical, looks horrible, horrible red background, horrible everything. Animations, doesn't look good. Then to follow that up with a tweet saying, yeah, that gameplay's not good. Well, guess what else is not good? No performance modes in both launching consoles for an Xbox first $70 game. Missing features. That's a problem. And again, it's not 30 versus 60 people. The problem is the prioritization and the messaging. The stuff they never learned from the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, which never had a game from them to show anything. The One X, the series consoles, nothing. And now, Digital Foundry, the people that were supposed to be on your side with the 12 teraflops are calling you out every breath they take because they realize they've been had. They realize that they drank the Phil Ness juice of the power of this console and realize they've been duped. Because if third party's not going to demonstrate this, first party has to. And I'm telling you, Sony walked around with the PS5 and said, here's Astrobot, here's the DualSense, everybody. And everybody's like, oh, I could put this in my game. Oh, I could put this in my game. They demonstrated the features with the games. Astrobot was a perfect example with the capabilities of the 3D audio, the motion control, the adaptive triggers, the vibration, all that stuff. You walk into a development studio, show them Astrobot, give them the DualSense, and they're immediately thinking how they can implement that in their game. Sony demonstrated with their software and their hardware. Now, Microsoft, if your first party is not demonstrating the 12 teraflops, the ray tracing, all that Hovis method, velocity architecture, the tramp stamps that they like to talk about, nobody else is going to do it. EA's not doing it. Ubisoft is not going to do it. Activision and Bethesda doesn't seem like they're doing it. But if you don't do it with your first party, if Ghostwire Tokyo's not doing it, nobody else is going to do it. And Redfall, your first $70 game, is not doing it. Who else is going to do it? You need to demonstrate your capabilities of hardware. Halo Infinite launching without ray tracing. Tell me what third party is going to prioritize ray tracing for the Xbox. I'll wait. Halo still didn't put ray tracing in Redfall. It's not a priority for Microsoft. Why is it not that's not a priority for me? Here comes the line, grinders.
You're my number one customer.
If you don't care, I don't care. If ray tracing and performance modes are not important to Microsoft in their own games, then why, as a third party or indie developer, why would I even bother? If Microsoft's willing to put out a game without 60 frames, why do I need to break my studio's back to come out with 60 frames, a performance mode? Why? If I'm putting it just on Xbox, I don't need to. Because they don't seem to prioritize it, why should I? Jay Thomas with the 10, he goes, as I said before, I'm beholden to where the games are. I was ride or die with PlayStation through the PS1 and 2, yet still went with the 360 because it seemed like Sony lost their effing minds right before the PS3. Yes, they did. They got all googly-eyed with the PS2. And what's funny, Jay, is that, and thank you so much for the super chat, you know what's funny is that people thought that the PS5 was going to have that same hubris that the PS3 had, that Sony was going to go in extra confident because of their PS4 sales and make mistakes. See, they were hoping that Sony would revisit the PS3 era and their hubris would let Microsoft come back from the dead. Well, that story had a very unhappy ending for Xbox because Xbox continued to fail and now is failing to this day, 3 years in, and Sony hit it on all cylinders. You know what's funny is that Sony ended the generation with Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2, and people thought that they blew it all. They're like, yep, they just emptied the tank. They're done. Nothing for the PS5, and then boom. Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank, Returnal, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, and it's done. But people was thinking that Microsoft was going to come capitalize on the hubris of the PlayStation, and Sony just came and just kept doing what they've been doing, making games. And PSVR 2 on top of that. And Microsoft continued to fail and disappoint and not deliver and delay and not put games out at launch, launching hardware without software, launching controllers without games. How many years can you do that? How many years can you go around going, it's not about the consoles? These same clowns on Twitter, it's about phones and consoles and PCs. That's what it's about to Microsoft. Well, guess what? You're digging your own grave. You might as well just jump in 6 feet under because you just killed the brand that you loved. You're an Xbox fan, but you tell me it's about phones. Well, guess what, bitch? You're playing on phones because the Xbox console is not selling. How many years can you go by and say that the console is not important to them? Well, they're showing you it's not important to you. The sales are as low as an Xbox One. You basically dug your own grave. That's what's scratching my head all the time. I was on all these Xbox shows going, well, no, Jez, you don't. And I'm like, guys, they're killing their brand. Oh, no, they're not. They're putting their games on PC. They're putting their games on phones. More people to play their games. I'm like, but they're treating the Xbox. They're not giving it the prioritization that it needs. They're not selling the console. No, but you don't understand. Microsoft shifted their points. Microsoft shifted everything. They're talking about PCs and 2 billion gamers. It's about that. That's it. What are you saying here? Are you an Xbox fan? Yes, but Xbox is not console anymore. Xbox is phones. Xbox is... But do you play on a phone? No, but it's a nice option. But it's not about that. Phil told me. He told me in a chat in Xbox Live. It's about phones. It's about PCs. It's about Samsung TVs and the kids, little Timmy, who can't afford games. That's what it's about. But what are you? I'm an Xbox fan. How are you an Xbox fan? You just told me it's not about Xbox. That's right. It's not about Xbox. Ow! You need a slap across the face.
I'm trying to use the
How many years are you going to go around telling me it's not about the console and then go, well, the console's being treated like a second-class citizen? You know what? I got some words for you right here. Where is it?
No
Second class, that's right. And you went out there and bought 2 and 4 consoles and took a picture and said, Phil, look at me. An orgy with the Series S and X's in bed with them. Phil's like, that's my boy. Like, yeah. Look, Phil, look at my wall of controllers. Phil's like, ha, 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 great job. He must look at you guys and look at these idiots. They're like Taylor Swift. They're like Swifties. They're Phillies. You're coming after the Phillies. They're his friggin' his goddamn groupies. He's like, let me play that flute for you. He goes like this. He goes, come to my show. Phil, look, I bought 3 Xbox Ones. Nothing to play on it, but thanks, Phil. Phil, I bought a Series S and an X, and my kids are happy. It saved my marriage. Look, I don't have any games to play, Phil, but I bought 2 X's. Oh, a red controller and a blue and a customizable one? I made 6 of them. Yay. I love your signature in them. What are you playing? I don't know, but I got 20 controllers and an Xbox sign. Look at me. But it's not about then come online and say it's not about the console anymore for Xbox. You're digging your own grave. And now you get treated as such. Phil says he maximized sales of Game Pass on console. He done with you. Lester with the $4.99. He goes, Phil Spencer would rather make game for Game Pass than for Xbox. Just let that sink in. Yeah, that's exactly. And here they come. Listen to this.
waiting for like the great, cool Xbox exclusive games. Just for games to be in what would previously be a shippable, like the
game is not ready,
like quality,
but delayed for polish.
We're talking about the Last of Us Part 1.
Just wait, Outsider says.
Yeah. I think mitigating argument here is that typically arcane games always run better on PC than on consoles.
Yeah,
so
they've been good
maybe
there,
it's simply the case that
usually.
it's been a PC focused title that wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility.
Making excuses
but
up.
The signals being sent out by this are certainly concerning, and also the timing. I think from my perspective, it sounds like a marketing decision to get the bad news out now, so it doesn't become the central point of discussion at review time, which I suspect it probably will anyway.
It will anyway.
It is what it is, right? I guess there's also the concept of the whole strategy from the Microsoft side. I mean, we've had also from Bethesda this week, Ghostwire Tokyo, which, Oliver, you're taking a look at now, and it's actually turning out to be quantifiably worse than the existing PlayStation 5 version. Which
This is not a one-game problem, everybody. It's systemic in their DNA, their still DNA.
So I guess the basic way that the PS5 version works is none of the modes are really locked, except for the 30 FPS quality mode, and they all have big performance issues. And then the game uses sub 4K resolutions with FSR1 and has input lag. So that's like the basic setup. And relative to that, the Xbox Series X version is basically worse in most respects with respect to
it's worse than the PlayStation.
So the RT reflections are somewhat lower quality. There are shadow alignment bugs with the RT shadows.
Yeah, but we heard them already.
If they haven't finished the optimization passes to get to the certain areas of the game, ray tracing, the footage they've shown off so far,
Here it
running
is.
at 60 FPS at some launch date, but then the launch date is actually not attainable to do that in the time frame, and they're pushing it out essentially early. It's not necessarily ready, and that's what it comes off to me. Like, it doesn't sound very nice to me to say that they're going to be pushing out an unfinished product, but it kind of comes across that way. There are other reasons why this could be 30 that aren't the reason I just gave. One could be that the fact that on PC they've advertised ray tracing. The footage they've shown off so far doesn't have any evidence of it.
How do you advertise ray tracing?
If they are using ray tracing, that would be a good, for example, CPU-related reason.
They've been showing it on
to
PC.
Not, be hitting 60 FPS in a good way. It's pretty rare to see a 60 FPS ray trace game on console due to the CPU limitations, because you can always scale resolution really far down.
You would expect a performance mode not to have ray tracing active, though, right?
Anyway, usually. But, other things, these all go to the game is unfinished territory, but yeah, there's always, you have these budgets.
Game
but
was
you're
delayed
harding
a
up
year.
The game, and then you do a optimization pass. Well, what if they haven't finished the optimization passes to get to the certain areas of the game up to 60?
Whose fault is that?
Well, then they need to wait till they get that done and then bring out the mode in a patch where it's a consistent 60 the whole way through. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons for this. I just think it's another big L for Microsoft at this time. Just where I thought they were on Hi-Fi Rush was so good, so polished, so great, that I was hoping that the next couple titles that would come out would reflect that experience. And a 30 FPS shooter, I don't know. First person games, I don't think feel very good at 30, usually. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's bring in the supporter question here. This is Cedric Weber. Redfall is getting offline mode post-launch. Redfall is getting performance mode post-launch. I'm tired of this. I can't name an industry which is so far away from their consumers. We as gamers getting kicked around like a play ball. Your opinion on this? Thanks for the greatest content on YouTube. Greetings from Frankfurt. Neighbour of John there. I think this is an interesting way of getting to the fundamental point here, which is that the signs are that the game isn't finished, right?
How many times did they say that? The game is not finished. Not the capabilities of the Series X console. Not the capabilities of the PC. Not the capabilities of the developers. The capabilities that the fact is that game is not ready. And who's making that decision? Who is pushing this game out the door not ready? Who did this before with Halo? Who did this already? The game is not ready. Why is it releasing? It's just like they did with Halo. It doesn't have co-op at launch. But we plan to put it by season 2. Dude, co-op came a year later in a beta. When is 60 frames performance mode coming to this game? When? Buy the game for $70 and what? And wait until when? E3? Christmas? Thanksgiving? When is that update coming out?
Wait, just wait till E3. There will be a showcase, but I can't say when all our games need help. Bootleg Studios helping with Perfect Dark.
When? And while that's going on, you wait. They are buying more. This is $7 billion of Bethesda right now with Redfall that they're throwing this out there. You think this is the foot they want to step on? Ghostwire Tokyo is coming to Game Pass as a result of $7 billion. Redfall coming out $7 billion. Ghostwire Tokyo running worse on their own platform. Redfall not ready. $7 billion. You're gonna like. Remember this line. Where is it? You know what's funny? Where is it? Where's his line? Well, he had it with Fortune, right?
Hello.
No, not that one. You know, I gotta ask Phil right here.
Walk me through why you couldn't have done something.
Where's Phil right here?
What the next gen consoles are going to do.
He seemed very conscious about this.
You can do. We're talking to
look.
Play, but we'll have a selection of games and devices. We've been talking to some of the to start. Why is it taking?
What is it taking?
Public trials. So we're at the time where we need to have users play.
Public trials and when? 2019 when?
We haven't finalized a date yet.
Why
it'll
is
be
it
before
taking
the
so
third.
long to finalize?
That's what I ask the developers all the time. Why is it taking so long?
What is it taking so long?
We want to make it right. You know, this is, if you think about streaming and the impact it will have, it's
Say
a
a beta,
decade
slap a beta on, then people know like, oh, it'll be a little bit buggy. Right?
Would you ship that? What you just played?
It depends. If like Google, if Amazon's around the corner, you're like, I got to get this thing out.
No,
right?
so this is for us, and I was just saying that.
Phil wouldn't dare ship xCloud not ready.
If, Google, if Amazon's around the
Did you ship that?
Oh, Phil seemed very. He wouldn't ship cloud if it wasn't ready, but game he will.
The beta on, then people know like, oh, it'll be
slap a beta on it.
Right?
Would you ship that?
The beta on, then people know like, oh, it'll be a little bit buggy. Right?
Would you ship that? Do 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 you ship
That's
that?
my question, Phil.
Do you ship that? Do you ship that? Do you ship that? Do you ship that? Do you ship
more?
That? Do you ship that? Do you ship that? What you just played?
It depends. If like Google, if
would you
Amazon's
ship
around the
that?
corner, you're like,
That's my question about Redfall right now, Phil.
This is for us. Do you ship that?
Yeah.
Do you ship that?
No.
Do you ship that?
Nope.
Do you ship that?
Are you asking that question to Bethesda?
Do you ship that? Do you ship that? Do you ship that?
No.
Do you ship that?
I wouldn't.
Do you ship that?
Is it ready?
Do you ship that?
No.
What you just played?
It depends. If like Google.
I wonder.
A few moments later.
Shipped. It shipped. He seemed very conscious. Very. Would you ship that? Would you ship that? You asking those questions to Arcane? Is he asking? Yeah, Phil. Ooh. Would you ship that? Would you ship that? Would you ship that? You don't care about shipping a game not ready. Oh, but the xCloud, oh, no. Well, I'm not slapping a beta on that. Would you ship that? They did slap a beta on it for 2 years. He shipped it shortly after.
A few moments later.
It shipped with a beta code slapped onto it. The problem is that he decides when it's shipped. You think Arcane is banging on Phil's door saying, Phil, let us release this game. We can't wait. Look at Arcane's pedigree. Look at how they show their games. Dishonored 2, Deathloop. They broke it down, showing the different varieties, showing the different capabilities, straight up gameplay from them, dev talk over. The appreciation was there, the detail, why they did stuff. And Deathloop launched with 4 different game modes with ray tracing in it. That's a PlayStation management oversight game. An Xbox One, would you ship that?
A few moments.
Would you ship that?
A few moments later.
And Phil ships it. You ship it?
Highest bill I input with the FTC. I got no games.
I am doing more with less. Rustin feel he's the best. Now sign your chest tie and stirring sucker. Listen to me.
You ship that? Not again. Let's get it out there, May. We could provide an update at the June showcase about our performance mode in addition to the characters that we have releasing for the game. And it's online only game. That's right, Dante. It's an online only game. So therefore, it requires online for single player, which is another thing they acknowledged, and they're going to fix it later. But the one thing that they can't fix is the co-op progression. So your people that are not leading, the host progresses the story, but the people that join in don't. They have to do those missions over in their campaign. That they're not fixing. So we got a three-peat here. We got no performance modes at launch for either one of the consoles. Go buy it on PC. And apparently they're talking ray tracing on the console. Ray tracing on the PC, but not on the console, but they yet to show it. So that's one thing, your performance modes. 2, no co-op progression. And 3, always online, even in single player. Would you ship that? Is it ready? Because all I hear is not ready. And that's a stable 30 frames at launch. That is a net code that doesn't show lag, rubber banding. And you know, one of the things I did want to touch on, and again, I'm not going to, I'm not going to, just one highlight. I thought that was very, very just insane. And one of the things here is that they know. Phil knows. So the thing that I'm saying here is, where is this? This thing. My tweet here. I said it on the Grinds Bite last week, right? About this whole flying people out there and having them play these games. And a controlled preview of gameplay they weren't allowed to collect. Paris was there. Colt was there. A whole bunch of people. Well, let him say it.
The performance of the game really bothered me. Half the time it was chugging. And the reason why I didn't talk about this in the preview is they were very specific, and this long NDA I had to sign before I went to LA about what we could talk about, what we couldn't talk about. And they were concentrating on the characters. They're concentrating on the one mission. and just playing the characters and being in the open world. And I asked about the consoles, and they're like, we're not talking about that right now. And you get shot down. I'm like, people are like, Colt, why didn't you drill? I was like, the performance of the game really bothered me. Half the time it was chugging.
Meanwhile, that wasn't mentioned at all during the previews, his previews, and actually went out of his way to make cuts of gameplay to show gameplay better than IGN's, damage controlling the IGN gameplay. Where is it? So when they, let's see if he kept it. I don't know if he kept it. Let's see. Because when IGN showed that poor gameplay, he might delete it. I don't want to see if he fixed it. Here's the Redfall one. I did it on the other show. He retweeted his cut gameplay. There it is. Look. This was before he said that. Here's the Redfall combat montage I made. The gunplay's punching movement. Where's the problems with your experience? And Greenberg retweeted it. They know this game is bad. They know it's not ready. They know. And they are doing blatant lies in 4K. Coming out going, no, I'm going to show you IGN gameplay. And here's my video. To counter IGN gameplay. But until the 60 frames per second thing was announced, then apparently he could talk truthfully of how bad it played during that event. Because it wasn't just him. A lot of people didn't say how bad that game played at that event. And didn't capture gameplay, which was sus to begin with. These are bullshit NDAs. The NDAs were probably like games in development, the performance is still a work in progress, and all that other stuff. But now that the cat's out of the bag, and I said this last week, I called this exactly the way it happened. I called it. Bootleg does it the same way. Nobody says anything. They're quiet. But then when a person leaves, an executive leaves, or when bad news breaks, then they come out of the woodwork to damage control it and say, oh yeah, I knew that was bad. Oh yeah, it didn't play well. And people still follow and listen to them. You withheld information to your audience and boldface lied to them. And even doubled down. Listen, if I went to go play a game and the game didn't play well, I would just keep, and maybe you're not allowed to talk about it because they say, hey, performance work in progress, don't bash us based on gameplay. You know what? Fine. I will come back and be, yeah, play the game, it's okay. But I wouldn't go out of my way and double down on this game is going to be awesome. It's exclusive, because that's exactly what they did. Oh, they touted exclusivity. They touted the game is going to be the next best thing. The problem is that why did you come back and cap extra for a game that didn't perform well? You should just shut up. Just like all Microsoft executives need to do. Just shut up. Don't draw attention to the game because you're going to look like a clown when the game shows its true colors. And you doubled down on it. You counted IGN's gameplay with some highlight cut reel. Yet again, we have not had a full straight-up play gameplay of this. And Greenberg retweeting it, knowing that's not what the game was like when they played it. It's all fake marketing hype. It's smoke and mirrors, and that's all Xbox is good at, is trying to trick the unintelligible people, the people that they and disrespectful. They're treating people like you just don't have an ounce of intelligence, and they think they could get one over on you. They think that they could use marketing and fan fest and all these things to wine and dine you, to manipulate you, to get you to spend your hard-earned money on stuff they know is not ready for prime time. Subscribe to a service to play a game that doesn't have features day one. So spend $70 on a game that doesn't have a performance mode in a next-gen console, and it will come at a later date. What's funny is I said the same thing about Halo. When Halo Infinite launched, I'm like, is there somewhere on the box where it says co-op is coming later? No. You bought Halo Infinite for $60 on store shelves and took it home and could not play co-op campaign. There was no messaging on the box. There was no anything. Nothing told you. You think they're shipping Redfall with a stamp on the box that says performance mode coming at a later time? To give the purchaser, the customer, an educated decision? No. These are $60, $70 products on store shelves not having expected features at launch. That they removed the 60 frames per second from the website. But it's not off the box. Subtext with the 5, he goes, most journalists, journalists say the performance wasn't perfect, but they said they'll fix it by launch. Colt is just lying his face off after getting caught. Yeah. The fact that he doubled down and was hyping this game when he came back and didn't mention performance, considering he's such a techie and talked about performance and didn't mention that, hey, the performance wasn't that great. It's a bold-faced lie, dude. And the fact that you doubled down as a marketing shill for them to kind of counter IGN's gameplay and double down and hype up the exclusivity and do all that when the gameplay that you went to go play was really sus. Like, it wasn't ready. You should have doubts. You shouldn't be coming back shouting from the rooftops capping for the game. If the game played that bad, Lester with the 5, he goes, I wouldn't be surprised if gameplay IGN shown was the Series X version. Dude, Lester, I got some bad news for you. That gameplay is the PC version, Lester. The Steam achievement pops up in the corner. It's PC gameplay. We have not seen the game playing on a console at all. So we don't even know if this is a locked 30 frames at all. We don't know. We have no clue. We don't know what the performance is on the console. It's the PC version that they showed. That's all they've been showing. And they've been showing 60 frames per second from the PC version, never running on an X. Not one game they've shown running on an X at all. Even Forza. Crazy. So I don't get it. Like, I know they do hand-me-outs and all this other stuff, but, like, dude, like, I'm sorry, like, what good is your credibility to this whole thing? Like, and for people to continue to listen and stuff, I'm just like, it's just a joke. Yeah, you can see it right here, Lester. Thank you for the super chat. You can see it right here. See it? This is a Steam achievement right here. They've been showing it on PC. I don't get it. I just don't understand. Like, I understand they want to focus on the characters and stuff, but even that, do your job. You show gameplay and talk about the characters. Like, don't wine and dine a bunch of influencers out there. Tell them what they can say, what they can't say. Give them interview. Like, and guess what? Even that marketing was horrible, because that whole thing that they went to, right? That whole thing that they went to go play that game, that's where the interview happened, where the guy said there was a PS5 version and they scrapped it with a capital C. We're changing everything. Capital C. Scrap the PS5 version. Even that backfired. The marketing has been insane. That was the interview. IGN first. IGN was the one who broke the news. That thing that they flew out there to, in an interview with IGN France, we got bought by Microsoft, and that was a huge sea change. They said, no PS5. Now we're going to do Game Pass, Xbox, and PC. Support from Game Pass and have to worry about one less platform, one less complexity. And Game Pass has a ton of people that can play. It could be our biggest game ever with the 30 million people. They don't have to do shit. There you go. Change it with a capital C. IGN first. Fake outrage. He goes, sup, Jez? Please let me compete. Stop the gatekeeping. Oh, damn, he says. Let them compete. Oh, my God.
You're my number one customer.
And right? And I brought this up on my last show about emphasizing the Game Pass. Like, support for Game Pass and have to worry about one less platform, one less complexity, and game... Well, you can't even get 60 frames on the console. What are you talking about? And Game Pass has a ton of people. So there you go. The security blanket. The crutch. It's going on Game Pass. Hey. There you go. Support from Game Pass. There you go. What incentive do you have? So the marketing for the Redfall has been poor showing of gameplay. They pulled the PS5 version after Microsoft bought them. Same thing with what's his name said. Starfield wasn't considered an Xbox Game Pass game, Xbox game until they were bought by Xbox. So obviously Phil went in there after they bought them and said, "You're making everything for these three platforms, no PlayStation versions." Good job, Phil. Kumbaya. Now go buy Activision. So you can see why Sony's concerned, because they probably knew that they had these games. You think Sony didn't know that they had this game in development for them, and Microsoft cut it, so that's why they're bringing it up with Activision? But that's another story. But you got this thing where they pulled it. Then you got the horrible gameplay, lack of just straight up mission, straight up gameplay of like a guy getting a mission, doing it, coming back, and all cuts and everything. And then you got the performance mode. And the game releases May 2nd. Like 2 weeks. And then you got the Star Wars game and then Zelda right after that. It's gonna be Game Pass fodder. Throw it in Game Pass. And they've got so much bad PR now. They destroy the marketing to this. Their marketing sucks. Bite back. Bite balls. It's over. This game is already comes out dead man walking right now. Where's Frost? Where's Frost at? Frost, where are you? What happened to Microsoft dead man walking? This game's dead man walking. It's done. You think they're going to have glowing reviews of this game? The message right now is that it's not ready for launch. What do you think the reviews are going to say? Well, we know Xbox the Ocho, Xbox Mondo, Xbox the Venezuela, Xbox the Bleed Green, Xbox Underwears. You know, all those guys are going to say 8s. But the real deals are going to be like, dude, this game's not ready for prime time. Wait for the update. 6. The mind share, the first impression has already been done for this game. And it's not ready. And I don't blame the devs. I see everybody blaming Arcane. Because they will never blame their Lord and Savior, Phil Spencer. It's management. It's the bad business decisions of management and marketing and all the people that should be doing their job. And they're the ones that are still there. You know, it's like if you manage a team of people, right? And the team of people do the hard work every single day, but the results don't get done. And instead of the manager owning it and saying, hey, this is on me, the manager goes, it's the studio heads that have the decision. The studio heads, the workers. They're the ones that are working on it. I just oversee. It's not. And then you start firing, and then the workers start leaving. But the manager stays. And when it's one person, you could go, okay, yeah, well, that's a bad seed. 2 people, bad. But when there are entire teams across the whole organization of all the studios that they own, and you're seeing the same motif, people with tenureships, people that have the talent with the IP leaving, there's something wrong systemically across the top with the management, the bosses, the decisions, the direction, the choices, the prioritizations, all that stuff is making these people leave because they are not on the same page. And the customer needs to recognize that. But this game, this game, that's it. Now we move on to Starfield. We saw the Final Fantasy gameplay, right? Final Fantasy 16. Gameplay. Blew minds. Incredible. Sales shot up after that show. And that's after demonstrating it at PAX East, which I was at. Hyped as hell. Got my exclusive bag right here. People buying the game because of gameplay. Not because of some influencer. Not because some dude came back capping his ass off. They showed the games, and the games did the talking. And people went out and pre-ordered it. And that game's going to be incredible. And you see the how one company, even it's not even a Sony first-party game, but you see the care and the specific focus on the game. And you're right, Seema, Zelda as well. Zelda in the same book right now. I don't have the Zelda music. I don't have the Zelda music right here. But both of them, even Zelda, another set of gameplay for Zelda, showing the mechanics, showing the graphics, showing what the game's capable of, selling the game on gameplay itself. Both of them are true testaments of what you're supposed to do and showing more and more the layers of the game. And you're here with Starfield. We're waiting for a Todd Howard fest in June. They should be breaking this game down piece by piece, month by month. What planets, the missions, the dialogue, the combat, the exploration, the crafting. There should be layers. Starfield marketing already sucks because nobody knows. I don't want to Olive Garden gift card this week. But look at how the layers of Final Fantasy. You saw the combat. You saw what you do the traditional way. You see the mechanics of how you could load up the different gems and change the game. Then they showed you Ifrit, and they showed the icon battles, a staple in the game. And scaling and showing.
You're my number
it's
one
like a
customer.
game within a game. Showing the open world, showing the traversal, showing the load times, showing the missions of the in the dynamic conversations. Zelda showing the physics, showing the puzzle elements, showing the crafting. And those are just on the surface. There's more to it, and they will be breaking down more and more and more. And Starfield's going to have a 30-minute Todd Howard walking around in a hallway with some goddamn CGI stupid video behind him on a TV. You see his stupid Uber driving ass in the front, but the gameplay is on a TV green screen all behind him. That's how confident they are in Starfield. You have Todd Howard up front, but you basically got a green screen and people looking at fake computer screens of gameplay. That game, you saw the straight up gameplay, right? You have here, what is it? What is it? Yeah. You got fake gameplay here. This is not gameplay. This is some cutscene. Who knows what this is? We don't even know what this is. This is all you got. You got this and the jank from last year. Right? You saw Final Fantasy gameplay. You saw Zelda gameplay. Here's Todd Howard's gameplay for this massive game. Where is it? I don't know what all this is. Here. Tell me where priorities are. Management. Tell me where your priorities are. Green screen gameplay back there. Look.
You're my number one customer.
This is what they're going to do in June. This is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to show you some dudes drawing on a computer, walking slowly through hallways like movie stars. That's what you want to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see full screen gameplay. This is what you're going to see. Dudes sitting on couches, eating Doritos, drinking Mountain Dew. Yeah, walk. There you go. This is what I need to see. There, exactly. I need to see these asses walking. Yeah, I just see a meeting. That's what I need to see, dudes walking through a hallway. Yep. Here we go. Look at these poses. Oh, wait, that went too fast for me. This is how confident they are. Look, there's their website. Think about Zelda gameplay. Think about the Final Fantasy gameplay. What you saw. How the marketing beats are already being made. And this is what you see here. Some fake ass crap. That's where they put their gameplay. A mile back behind Todd Howard on a green screen. Their Discord. That's what it was, Josh. Their Discord. We're confident about the gameplay. Dude, can that screen be any further away? Can't wait to see this game in action. This game was delayed a year. Wait, can I squint? What do you think that development direct is going to be? It's going to be 30 minutes, and they're going to have 20 minutes of circle jerking like this. Dude's drinking Mountain Dew. Yeah. This is what I want to see. Exactly. I want to see this. This is what I want to see. Their marketing sucks. Microsoft sucks. This is what they think is important. This. Because, see, what they're trying to sell you is they're not trying to sell you the game. They're trying to sell you Mr. Uber Driver here. That's what they're trying to sell you. If you're a Todd Howard lover, it doesn't matter what the game is. Microsoft believes in just like how they sell Phil Spencer, Mickey Mouse. They're not selling. They show me priority right here. Who are they trying to sell? The game? A new IP? Thousand Planets? Who are they trying to sell here? It seems like they're trying to sell me the devs. And showing how hard they're working. So maybe I'll feel bad for them and play their game? Is that the logic here? Because you look like you're trying to sell me Todd Howard and Todd Howard walking in the hallway making decisions. This is what I need to see. Yeah. I need to see this. This is really like what I need to see right now. And what do you think that gameplay is going to be? What do you think? What do you think that developer direct is going to be? I think, you know what, we had over 100, 300 people in here. I think we need a side by side. I think we need some finesse right here. Let me show you a little bit here. Tell me who's selling what to who. Two massive games. Let's see. Dude comes out here, says his piece. Says enough for me. Let the games do the talking.
Enough from me. We're gonna have the
running
games
on a
to
PlayStation. He emphasizes running on a PlayStation. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game. Gameplay. Running on a PlayStation. Cutscene. Story. Characters. Graphics. Sanu.com goes, we are gaming so good. Squad getting delayed is okay. Nate Doctor 499, he goes, Xbox not even getting Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered, which I'm getting that. That's a good game. I'm gonna get that. I can't wait because it won't work on a Series S. Oh damn, that's a good one. The pixels are too much. This has 1.2 million views 1 month ago. 4 days ago, the Final Fantasy has 1.1 million views. Jesus. 4 days, yeah, almost the same amount of views as a Todd Howard thing. And these are all Bethesda fans. This is not selling console. This is all Bethesda fans. But just look at the the marketing beats already. Look at where one is. Look, right there. The marketing. The marketing. What game are you buying? Like, what are you buying here? You want to know what? Let's be a little bit more. Let's here. Where is it? Here it is. Let's do something that's coming out in May. Redfall. Here it is. So we got the same thing. Watch the difference. Here we go. I have not seen a developer at all on the state of play right now. Right? Let's see what happens. Redfall showing their gameplay. Let's see. Let's see how we got straight up gameplay. Nope, we got cuts. Okay. The marketing beats. This is their developer direct. Show a mission. Just show the game. Nope, we're doing pans and swipes. Pans and swipes. Here's we got cutscenes going on there. What are we doing here? We got empty worlds. A barren, empty world on the left. Crazy crap is happening on the right. That's right. The devs who are being played by Microsoft. Exactly. The people just standing around. Empty world. Now the menu screens.
Navigation.
Wait. I still haven't seen anybody shooting yet in Redfall. People standing around. Here we go. Finally. Oh, X-Hawk is here. I got a song. Hey, X-Hawk. Welcome.
Sign me, please, I will bend over and touch. My knees tell me it's better.
You gotta have intro music.
We all play and make exclusive games and like. To my face, thank you, Phil.
That's right, Josh is never before gameplay. Dude, this is like, oh man, this developer direct gameplay looks rough too. Why does it go like... It's just... Oof. These games are coming out a month apart. But look at the uncut gameplay. Like, I just is like, you know, like we're seeing guys walk through hallways, taking a shot, cuts to this, gets cut to this. Like, just show it. Again, more pans, more cuts, empty worlds. They're proving a point over here. They're showing you parts of the game and the combat and the actual gameplay. Look at what they're doing over here. It's suspect, dude. Look at look at it. And now we're done. Watch, we're going to come right out of that, jump into her tree, show her abilities. He's still fighting. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. But they gotta do something about it. I don't know, man. No, they banned them. Don't ban them. They didn't play my song. Anyway, get this trash off the screen. Dude, that Final Fantasy stuff was wild, dude. I don't want to play the music there because I don't know. What are the menus? And this is like that Redfall gameplay was the most we've seen since IGN. It's that and IGN. That's it. Final Fantasy 16 has a whole host of gameplay. They did a whole media tour. Then they went to PAX East, and then they did the state of play. There's a lot of and there's more to talk about. Redfall, you counted on your fingers how much they've shown. I'm telling you, man. The marketing beats. What gets you more excited? And there's going to be a performance mode. There's going to be and it's just, I don't know, man. Redfall is already. It's already, the marketing is already done for it. It's an incomplete game. It's not ready, and that's what I said. It's not about 30 and 60 frames for Redfall. It's about being a complete game at launch. Xbox makes a big deal about day one games. Well, are they day one complete games? Because this will be. And that's the problem. It's already coming off as incomplete before anybody reviewed it. And this game looks more than what is being shown right now of Final Fantasy. And people are hyped for it. Plus, it has the name. That's what I mean. And it has the name as well. And then you got Zelda. And you got Star Wars. And Redfall somewhere in there. They don't care, man. Let it go out to die. They don't care. And that's the problem. The management don't care. And I'm not blaming Arcane for it. I'm blaming the management. The Phil, the Booties, the Pete Hines. The people making the decisions on how to market and get people excited about a game. Where are those Final Fantasy dudes over at Xbox? Where are the people? Where are the marketing beats from there? They're incompetent. Let's put out a tweet after bad gameplay saying, oh yeah, by the way, we're not going to have performance mode. Game's incomplete. It'll come at a later time. Who thought that was a good idea? Starfield's going to have a showcase soon. We're working on a separate one. In January, they said this. Saying it's coming in June and the game is delayed to September. Come on now. They don't get, they have the game and they just they don't believe in it. And I remember when Sea of Thieves was released, and I remember being on an Xbox podcast, behind the scenes talk, and hearing that Microsoft was not marketing Sea of Thieves because they were not confident in Sea of Thieves. And it wasn't until the Sea of Thieves beta that people showed that they were liking it. That's when Microsoft decided to ramp up promoting the game. But they were not confident in their own first-party game from Rare. That's why Sea of Thieves didn't have a lot of marketing leading up to it, and it only came after the beta. And it seems like that's the motif with a lot of their games because they hide the gameplay. They hold it to the last minute. And when it's shown, it is shown in a closed environment with snipers all over the place to make sure nobody messes up and says anything wrong. And what's crazy is that we don't have to worry about the influencers like Paris and Colt going out there and saying anything wrong. They went out there and capped for it. Instead, you're the ones that self-inflict pain on the game. You're the ones. You do it to yourself. It's not blame Sony. It's not blame Nintendo. It's you because you have other priorities and they are not gaming.
Another one.
And that's the show, Grinders. I want to thank everybody for incredible Gaming Grindhouse. Welcoming Frogs back. Frogs, thank you again for hanging through. Shout out to you, Frogs. No biggie. But man, oh man, what a thing. You saw that Final Fantasy thing, man. Wild.
I can't wait.
Can't wait, man. But tell them where to find you, Frogs.
Mostly when I stream, you can find me on PlayStation Network, Frog and Pepper. I'm getting ready to start streaming some X Defiant.
Yeah.
Try
How'd
that
you
out.
get that? You pre-ordered
No, I just did the. I registered for it. I'll send you a link if you want to join in the beta.
Yeah, send me a
I
link.
can
I
have
wanna
up to
try
5
it.
people. Yeah, I
never go
definitely
full
send you a link.
Yeah, I want to try
Yeah,
it.
never go full Ubisoft, but it's a free-to-play first-person shooter. It's something different than Call of Duty. I just want to try it out, see what it's like.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully,
Send me the link.
it can pull some heartstrings. Definitely, I'll send you a link.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you again, Frog. Thanks, shout out to Link for swinging by. And I want to thank everybody. Grinders, VIPs. Thank you for all the new VIPs, new subs. Thank you for subbing. And thank you for all the super chats and for all the grinders that hung in for this epic gaming grindhouse. Amazing show. Thank you. It's been a rough night with all the craziness going on, but we got it all through. And see you on the other side. Shout out. We're going to be playing some Horizon and definitely some Dead Island 2 this week. And stay locked here for the Gaming Grindhouse on the Grinds Bite coming later this week, and the Gaming Grindhouse every Monday at 8 o'clock. Shout out to everybody. Thanks again, Grinders. Share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the Twitter streets. And hit me up in the comments, everybody. And quality flutes. And remember, you could always play Redfall on.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Star Ratchet 2, Ground, Shroom and Doom. 'Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, The Ascent, and more.
And so everything that we are doing with our content, with our
Boy,